I'm very happy you're all here, and I did write some things down, and I think I'll read them. I'll read as long as I can without feeling like you're no longer paying attention to me, and then I will check in a panically, slightly insecure way. Welcome to the Montreal Comedy Festival, and fuck you. Some of you know who you are. Wait, sorry, that was the old me. I'd like to apologize for being a dick just then. See, that's progress. The amount of time between action and apology was seconds. I'm excited to be here, and I'm now going to proceed to make this speech all about me, and we'll see where that takes us. So, I don't know if you know me. I know a lot of you have. Whenever I come to this thing, I feel like I've grown up with some of you people. I feel like some of you are my parents. I know that this is a community of comics. I'm usually wandering around wondering why the festival is not the Montreal Just for Mark Festival. But I guess for 25 minutes we can make it that way. Things are going pretty well for me, and I don't know what kind of person you are, but I'm the kind of person when things are going well for me, there's a little voice inside of my head saying, you're going to fuck it up. You're going to fuck it up, Mark. And I really just wish that voice were louder than the voice screaming, let's fuck it up! Come on, you pussy, fuck it up. What happened to you, pussy? You used to have balls and eggs. Look at you doing a speech, you pussy. Fuck it up. Ruin your career. Burn some bridges. Remember that? What happened to your edge? Break up with your girlfriend. Start drinking again. This is a good weekend for that. Do that. Come on. Fuck it up. So that's happening right now. And I wish that were a fucking joke. I was up all night fighting with my brain to not fuck this up. My poor girlfriend, who, we've been together a little while, but it was a real test to our relationship. I don't know if you've ever been in that zone where you're so panicky and angry that you can't sleep, but you know part of you doesn't want to sleep, because then if you don't sleep and you fuck it up, you can be like, well, I didn't sleep, it was fucked up. And she was sitting there going, do you want me to hug you? I'm like, no, yes, okay, can I build a pillow fort? So, that's where I'm at. I'm a comedian. Okay, here we go. When they asked me to give this speech months ago, the first thing I said to my manager was, what? They can't find anyone else? With this much time? Really? That's fucking ridiculous. And then my manager said, no, they want you. So I asked, why me? Why ask why me is the question. This was obviously a good thing. I got the gig. But I'm the kind of person who needs to deconstruct even a good thing so I can understand what is expected of me and who is expecting it. You would think, well, Mark, they just want you to be funny. That isn't good enough. In my mind, I needed to know what the angle was. Did no one else want to do this? Did someone drop out? Be honest. Who said no already? Did Chelsea Handler say no? Be honest. Who said no? Am I cheap? Why? I mean, shit, I've been doing comedy for 25 years. I've been invited to this festival maybe twice before this, which is weird considering how many new faces I've tried on over the last 25 years. I mean, to the festival's credit, they did have me on the Sad Old Faces show about 6 years ago. And I appreciate that. But let's be honest, all right? I have not made anyone in this room any real money. I'm currently working out of my fucking garage. I'm in constant battle with resentment against many of the people in this room. So again, why me? So you see what happened right there? Within minutes of the opportunity to give this speech became, this is a setup, they're fucking me. I mean, what kind of bullshit is this? That is exactly the kind of thinking that has kept me out of the big time for my entire career. All right, I'm going to try to address both sides here. Okay, the industry and the comics, it's not really an us against them situation, but to me it feels like it is sometimes. As I said, I've been doing comedy for 25 years. I've put more than half of my life into building my clown. That's how I see it. I think that comics keep getting up on stage, and in time, the part of them that lives and thrives up there is their clown. My clown was fueled by jealousy and spite for most of my career. I'll share this with you. I'm the clown who recently read The War for Late Night and thought it was basically about me not being in show business. I'm the clown that thought that most of Jon Stewart's success was based on his commitment to a haircut. I'm the clown that thought Louis C.K. show Louis should be called Fuck You, Mark Maron. 3 years ago, my clown was broke on many levels, and according to my former manager, my manager at the time, I was unbookable and without options. That's a great talk. Let me try to recapture that for you. My manager. Nobody wants to work with you. I can't get you an agent. I can't get you any road work. I can't get you anything. Me. Okay. So what do we do? My manager. Are you looking at my hair? Why are you looking at my hair? Does it look bad? Me. No, it's fine. What should we do? My manager. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, stop looking at my hair. Am I fat? Tell me, am I fat? Seriously, am I? That was the conversation. Paraphrasing, but that was the conversation. My first thought after that meeting was, I'm going to kill myself. My second thought was, I could get a regular job. My third thought was, I need a new manager. I think I had the order wrong. I'm not taking shots here. Let Andy do that. I'm incapable of that. I'll discuss that in a minute. I drove home defeated. All right, 25 years in, I had nothing. I was sitting in a garage in a house I was about to lose because of that bitch, but let's not get into that now. And then I had this weird realization, and I said this out loud to myself. You can build a clown, and they might not come. I was thinking, it's over, it's fucking over. Then I thought, you have no kids, you have no wife, you have no career, certainly no plan B. Why not kill yourself? I thought about suicide a lot. Now, don't get depressed. I have thought about suicide a lot in my life, but it's not because I want to kill myself. I just find it relaxing. To know that I can if I have to. I don't know what kind of person you are, but you've never had that moment where you're just sitting alone and you're like, what? Why the fuck does my life have to... Hey. I can always kill myself. Back to work. It's the spiritual reprieve of the faithless. I'll let the people that got that take it in there. It's a little deeper than that. All right. Well, then I thought, maybe I get a regular job. That's fucking horrendous. Even though my last regular job was in a restaurant 25 years ago, I said to myself, I swear to you, I said, I still got it. It's like riding a bike. Just get me a spatula, flip some eggs, some burgers or something. Then I thought, what are you, fucking crazy? You think they're going to hire a 47-year-old man whose last restaurant job was a part-time short order cook in 1987? How are you going to explain the lost years? Are you going to show the bar manager your Conan reel? You know? You're a fucking idiot. So I was broke, I was defeated, I was careerless, and I started doing this podcast in that very garage where I was planning my own demise. And I'm not going to try not to get choked up with this because this thing has been an emotional thing for me. I started talking about myself on the mic with no one telling me what I could do or what I could say. I started reaching out to comics immediately. I needed help. I needed personal help, professional help. I needed to talk to people. So I reached out to my peers and I talked to them, and I started feeling better about life, comedy, creativity, community. I was lost. And then I started to understand who I was by talking to other comics and then sharing it with everybody else. And I started to laugh at things again. I was excited to be alive. Oh, holy fuck. Doing the podcast and listening to comics literally saved my life. And I realized that is what comedy can do for people. And you know what the industry had to do with that? Nothing! Nothing! When I played an early episode from my now former manager in his office, thinking that I'd turned a career corner, and we finally had something, he listened to about 3 minutes of it and said, I don't get it. But, I don't blame him, okay? Why would he get it? It wasn't on his radar. It wasn't in his wheelhouse. There's no package deal. There's no episode commitment. No theaters to sell out. He had no idea what or how to extract money from it. And I did it from my fucking garage. Perfect. It took me 25 years to do the best thing I'd ever done, and there was no clear way to monetize it. I was winning. But I guess I'm ahead of the game. I don't know. I don't really look at it that way. I don't really pay attention to this. It's just, All right, so back to the offer of the speech. I thought, wait, all right, that's the reason they want me to do the speech. I do a podcast out of my garage that has had over 20 million downloads in less than 2 years. It's critically acclaimed. I've interviewed over 200 comics. I've created live shows. I'm writing a book. I have a loyal, borderline obsessive fan base who bring me baked goods and artwork. I've evolved as a person, as a performer. I'm at the top of my game, and no one can tell me what to do. I built it myself. I work for myself. I have full creative freedom. I am the future of show business. Not your show business, my show business. They want me to do this speech because I'm the future of our industry. That's what I thought. I really thought that. Then my new manager got back to me and said, no, they like the jokes he did when he introduced Kindler a couple years ago. That's why they asked you. So this moment of where I was an emperor in my garage for about 6 minutes. So then I thought, fuck, it was the jokes about them, you guys, the industry, that got them interested. Well, that's fucking ridiculous. That was 2 jokes. I'm not good at insult comedy. Anytime I do roast jokes, I go too far, I cut too deep, it gets too real, always gets me in trouble. Always. I think the president of Comedy Central, Doug Herzog, is still mad at me, actually. I'd like to take this opportunity publicly to apologize again to Doug. Years ago, when Doug Herzog and Eileen Katz first moved to Comedy Central from MTV and began retooling it, I performed at a Comedy Central party at the old Catch a Rising Star. I remember the joke I did. I remember. I said, quote, I'm glad Doug and Eileen moved from MTV to Comedy Central because I think that all television should look like a 24-hour round-the-clock pie-eating contest. Unquote. I don't know if it was the venom I said it with or what, but 2 days later I was in Eileen Katz's office with my old manager who was having a great hair day. Apologizing for that joke. So I'm not the guy to make you industry people laugh at yourselves. Kindler will do that in a couple of days. But if I could, in the spirit of making an amends, I would like to apologize to Doug Herzog again and say I'm sorry, Doug. Since you've been there, Comedy Central has become the best pie-eating contest on television. What's he going to do, fire me from my garage? All right, so let's get into comedy. I can talk about the podcast. Look, I've been bitter in my life. I have felt slighted by the industry and misunderstood. I've made mistakes. I've fucked things up. That's the kind of comic I am. It isn't unusual. I will admit and accept my faults and mistakes, but it bothers me that the industry takes comics for granted and makes us jump through stupid hoops and lies to us constantly. I get it. You think it's part of your job. But how about a little respect for us, the commodity, the clown? When I was a kid watching comedians on TV and listening to their records, they were the only ones that could make it all seem okay. They seemed to cut through the bullshit and disarm fears and horror by being clever and funny. I don't think I would have survived my childhood without watching stand-up comics. When I started doing comedy, I didn't understand show business. I just wanted to be a comedian. Now, after 25 years of doing stand-up and the last 2 years of having long conversations with over 200 comics, I can honestly say that they are some of the most thoughtful, philosophical, open-minded, sensitive, insightful, talented, self-centered, neurotic, compulsive, angry, fucked up, sweet, creative people in the world. I love comedians. I respect anyone who goes all in to do what I consider a noble profession in art form. Despite whatever drives us towards this profession, i.e. insecurity, need for attention, megalomania, poor parenting, anger, a mixture of all the above, whatever it is, we comics are out there on the front lines of our sanity. We risk all sense of security and the possibility of living stable lives to do comedy. We are out there in B rooms, dive bars, coffee shops, bookstores, and comedy clubs trying to find the funny, trying to connect, trying to interpret our problems in the world around us and make it into jokes. We are out there dragging our friends and coworkers to comedy clubs at odd hours so we can get on stage. We are out there desperately tweeting, updating statuses, shooting silly videos. We are out there driving 10 hours straight to feature in fill-in-the-blank city here. We are out there acting excited on local morning radio programs with hosts whose malignant egos are as big as their regional popularity. We are out there pretending like we like club owners and listening to their input. You fucking comics better laugh at this shit. I don't care who you're sitting next to. We are out there pretending, no, we already did that. We are out there fighting the good fight against our own weaknesses, battling courageously with internet porn. Booze, pills, weed, blow, hookers, hangers-on, sad, angry girls we can't get out of our room. Twitter trolls, broken relationships. We are out there on treadmills at Holiday Inn Expresses and Marriott Suite hotels, trying to balance out our self-destructive compulsions, sadness, and fat. We are up making our own waffles at 9:58 a.m., 2 minutes before the free buffet closes. And thrilled about it. Do not underestimate the power of a lobby waffle to change your outlook. All this for what? For the opportunity to be funny in front of as many people as possible and share our point of view, entertain, tell some jokes, crunch some truths, release some of the tension that builds up in people, in the culture, and ourselves. So if I could, I would like to help out some of the younger comics here with some things that I've learned from the experience in show business. Most of these only refer to those of us that have remained heatless for most of our careers. I can't speak to heat. I do know that symbiosis with the industry is necessary. After a certain point, there are great agents and managers and executives who want to make great product, but for the most part, it's about money. To quote a promoter who was quoting an older promoter in relation to his involvement with the Charlie Sheen tour, quote, "Don't smell it, sell it." Unquote. True story. Okay, here's the list. 1. Show business is not your parents. When you get to Hollywood, you should have something more than, "Hey, I'm here. When do we go on the rides?" 2, try to tap into your authentic voice, your genuine funny, and build from there. 3, try to find a manager that gets you. 4, nurturing and developing talent is no longer relevant. Don't expect it. If you want to hear about that, though, you can talk to an agent or manager or comic from back in the day. But don't get sucked in. They'll pay for the meal, but they'll feed on your naivete to fuel their diminishing relevance, and that can be a soul suck. See, too deep. You know what I mean? There's nothing good about that joke. It was true, but it was hurtful. It felt good to do it, and I'm sorry. If you have a manager, there's a language spoken by them and their assistants that you should begin to understand. For example, when an assistant says, "He's on a call," or "I'll try to get her in the car," or "He just stepped out," or "I don't have her right now," or "They're in a meeting," or "He's at lunch," or "She's on set," or all of these mean they've got no time for you, you have nothing going on, go make something happen so they can take credit for it. See, I shouldn't do these kind of things. 6, sometimes a general meeting just means that executives had an open day, needed to fill out their schedule, and want to be entertained. Don't get your hopes up. 7, if your manager says any of these, we're trading calls, or I have a call into them, or they said you killed it, or they love you, or they're having a meeting about you, or we're waiting to hear back, or they're big fans. These usually mean you didn't get it and someone will tell you secondhand. 8, there is really no business like show business except maybe prostitution. There's a bit of an overlap there. 9, this is not a meritocracy. Get over yourself. And 10, Dave Rath will be your manager. All right, let's land this thing. The amazing thing about being a comedian is that no one can tell us to stop, even if we should. I know this. Delusion is necessary to do this. Some of you aren't that great. Some of you may get better. Some of you are great now. Some of you may get opportunities even when you're not that great. Some of you will get them and they will go nowhere, and then you'll have to figure out how to buffer that disappointment, and because of that get funnier or fade away. Some of you may be perfectly happy with mediocrity. Some of you will get nothing but heartbreak. Some of you will be heralded as geniuses and become huge. Of course, all of you think that one describes you. Hence the delusion necessary to push on. Occasionally, everything will sync up and you will find your place in this racket. There is a good chance it will be completely surprising and not anything like you expected. I'm not a household name. I'm not a huge comic. I've not made millions of dollars, but I'm okay. I'm making a living. I'm good with that, finally. Comedy saved my life, but also destroyed it in many ways. It's precarious balance of our craft, and some of us don't survive it. You know, we lost a few really great comics this year. Greg Giraldo isn't here, which is weird because he was always here. Greg was a friend of mine, many of you. He wasn't a close friend, but we were connected by the unspoken bond between comics. After talking to hundreds of comics, I know that bond runs deeper than just friendship and is more honest than most relationships. He certainly was a kindred spirit. I battle demons every day, and as of today, I'm winning, or at least have some sort of détente. Greg lost that fight. He was a brilliant comedian, but in a way that is rare. He was not a dark, angry cloud. He was smart, current, honest, courageous. He did it with humility and light. He was a comedic force of nature that is profoundly missed. He was just a guy that always seemed so fucking alive that accepting that he isn't is hard and sad. He's survived by his ex-wife, his kids, and his YouTube videos. And we miss him. Also, in an interesting twist this year, Robert Schimmel did not die of cancer, but he did pass. Bob was a class act, a legacy to true blue lounge comedy, and an impeccable craftsman of the story and the joke. He battled a horrible disease for over a decade and brought a lot of laughs and hope to people affected by cancer. He made me laugh a lot. I listen to his CDs now if I want to laugh, and that is as honest a tribute as I can give to a comedian. I miss him, and I'm sad I didn't get to talk to him more. Mike DeStefano, as a person, went through more shit than I can even imagine. Some of it self-generated, all of it tragic and mind-blowing. He overcame it. How? With fucking comedy. I literally talked to his brother last week, Joe, and he said, quote, Mike had a tough time living until he found comedy, and then it was the opposite. Doing comedy is what saved him. His comedy helped a lot of people, and it helped him, unquote. I never met a guy more at peace with his past and present and more excited about the future that sadly isn't going to happen. But he knew in his heart he was living on borrowed time and every day was a gift. All these guys should have had many more years of life between them, but they didn't. These guys were unique in that they were real comics. Hilarious, deep, hardcore, risk-taking, envelope-pushing artists that made a profound impact on people and changed minds and lives with their funny. I know that to be true. I'm not sure if there is a point to this speech, or at one point or any point really. All I know is that if you're a comic, hang in there if you can, because you never know what's going to happen or how it is going to happen, and there are a lot more ways and places for it to happen. I know my place in show business now, it's in my garage. But who knows where yours is? But there is truly nothing more important than comedy. Okay, well that might be an overstatement. There are a few things more important than comedy, but they aren't funny. Until we make them funny. Godspeed, have a good festival. Are we good? We okay? Thank you.
It's my pleasure to present to you now for the keynote address, Patton Oswalt, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. It's time to burn off the last bit of that credibility, so strap in. How's everyone doing? You guys okay? I know there's a bit of a labor strike here in the hotel. We're going to get through it. We've rigged a tarp on the roof to collect rainwater. There's been kind of a Lord of the Flies thing going on up on the 10th floor. Apparently, Dave Rath is the Duke of Montreal now. I was supposed to read that. He's apparently the #1 Duke of New York. I'm not really sure, but oh God, I'm so fucking nervous. Okay, here we go. Has anyone ever sung their whole address before? I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here. Hello, everybody. I'm truly humbled and proud, and as I just said, very intimidated giving this year's keynote address. There are way better comedians, way sharper comedic minds here at this festival right now. Luckily for me, none of them could be bothered to wake up before 1 p.m. So, and really, is there a better time to talk about comedy than 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday? No, there's not. So, welcome, everyone, to the 2012 keynote address, or as I'm calling it today, Sushi for Breakfast. We've had a very controversial year in comedy. This year we've opened up discussions about the appropriateness of rape jokes, talked about the role of gender in comedy, about the importance of accepting yourself and your audience, no matter what your race, creed, or sexual orientation is. And who better to cover all of that than a straight white male? The comedy community finds itself in a strange place right now, and you can tell how weird things are because people are referring to us as the comedy community. That is how fucked up things are right now. But no matter what I say today, the important thing is that comedy bloggers misconstrue it. I'm really hoping that you just... Right now, a blogger is writing a post with the headline, Oswalt condones rape for gay sushi chefs. I know that is happening as we speak. So I was asked to do a tight 5, so in the spirit of stand-up comedy, I'm going to do 20. Look, I'll be honest, this is one of the most intimidating gigs I've ever done because I know that no matter what I say up here and no matter how well I say it, almost all of you is going to be thinking, oh, I could have done that so much funnier right there. That blew it. So what I've done instead of just giving a speech, I've written 2 letters, all right? First letter is to all of the comedians in the room, and the second one is going to be to the gatekeepers, all right? And all this is going to make sense when I'm done, I hope. I hope all this comes together. So here we go. Dear comedian in 2012, how are you? I'm good. In answer to your last letter, yes, the mozzarella sticks at the Irvine Improv do taste weird. I'm taking your advice and sticking with the nachos. Hey, you know what I was thinking the other day? Everything I know about succeeding as a comedian and ultimately an artist is worthless now, and I couldn't be happier about that. And let me be very clear when I say everything I know, all right? Because I started doing stand-up in the summer of 1988. And oh, boy, that was a different time, wasn't it? Joe Piscopo was president. Mary Lou Retton won the Cold War. And Andy Kindler turned 50. So, when I say, by the way, if I hadn't popped that goddamn pea, that Joe Piscopo joke would have annihilated. Don't you? Oh, where's the nylon stocking over this? Can't I do this We Are the World style? Really? When I say everything I know about succeeding as a comedian is worthless, I know what I'm talking about because everything I know became worthless twice in my lifetime, right? The first time all my knowledge about stand-up went down the shitter was the evening of May 22nd, 1992. I've been doing stand-up almost 4 years at that point, and that was, as you all know, most of you know, Johnny Carson's last ever Tonight Show. And up until that night, the way that you made it in comedy was very clear, very simple, very straightforward. You went on Carson, oh, my fucking handwriting. I was very prescient even then that you had. This doesn't mean a lot right now, trust me. It'll mean something very soon. You went on Carson. Oh, what if I should just say Carson Daly? Come on, let's really. You went on Carson, you killed, you got called over to the couch, and the next day, you had your sitcom, you had your mansion, you've been made. That's how you did it. Everyone knew that, all right? You can just ask Drew Carey, ask Jerry Seinfeld, and Ellen DeGeneres, and Bill Clinton. That's how you did it, all right? But now, Johnny was gone. He wasn't coming back, and all the comedians that I remember starting out with in D.C., all the older ones especially, all the ones who told me over and over again, you got to work clean, you got to hone your 5 minutes, and you got to go on Carson, and that's it. It all comes down to that. In one night, all of them were wrong. All of them were completely wrong, and not just wrong, those guys were unmoored. These guys were drifting. A lot of these bulletproof headliners that I opened for, men and women whose careers had seemed predestined, a lot of them, they never recovered from that night. You'll never hear their names. They had been sharks in a man-made pond, and now the water had been drained. They discovered they didn't have lungs, and they decided that their time had passed. All right? Now keep that in mind for later. The most important part of that last sentence, they decided their time had passed. The second time everything I knew about comedy became worthless has been pretty much every day for about the last 3 years. Now, I know that's not an exact date. Some other comedian, some younger, as yet famous name, maybe someone in this audience right now. Check under your seat. If you have a gold star, that'll be you. You are going to pinpoint that day 20 years down the road from now. So, but for now, every day for about the last 3 years is going to have to suffice. All right? That's the best I can do. And now, first, before I explain that, I'm just going to give you a brief timeline of my career up to this point, all right, to when I realized it was all changing again, right? Here it goes, and listen very carefully to the words that I use. 2 words are going to keep coming up over and over again, all right? And they're going to come back later along with that phrase, they decided their time will pass. I'm going to tie it all together. You people are going to carry me around the room like fucking Peter Gabriel, I'm telling you. I was lucky enough to get hired on The King of Queens in 1998. I was 9 years on that show. Money, great cast, even better writers, a lot of fun. I bought a house. Nice. Then I was lucky enough to get cast as a lead voice in a Pixar movie in 2007. Acclaim, money. I got to meet a lot of my heroes. Then I was lucky enough to get cast in the United States of Tara on Showtime. I got to watch Toni Collette work. That was incredible. Right? I got to perform Diablo Cody's writing. After which, I was lucky enough, because I did that, to get cast in Jason Reitman's Young Adult, which Diablo Cody wrote. And that's where I got to make out with Charlize Theron. I will use that as an icebreaker if I ever meet Christina Ricci. I've been lucky enough to have been given specials on HBO, Comedy Central, and Showtime, as well as I've been lucky enough to be able to release records on major labels. And I was lucky that they approached me to do it, and that led to me being lucky enough to get Grammy nominations, right? I know that all sounds like a huge ego-stroking credit dump, but if you'd listen very carefully, you would have heard two words come up over and over again, lucky and given. And those are two very, very dangerous words for a comedian, because those two words can put you to sleep, especially once you get a taste of both, of being lucky and being given. Because the days of luck and being given are about to end. They're about to go away. Not totally, all right? There's always going to be comedians who, through hard work, they're going to get noticed by agents and managers and networks and studios and directors and record labels. There will always be an element of that, all right? And they deserve their success, by the way. Every one of them that still makes it with that model deserves their success. And there's always going to be people that benefit from that, all right? I hope it keeps happening. What I meant when I said that the days of luck and being given are about to end is this. Not being lucky and not being given are no longer going to define your career as a comedian and as an artist. Remember what I said earlier about all those bulletproof headliners who'd focused on their 5 minutes on The Tonight Show, and then when it ended, they decided their opportunity was gone? Well, that's just it. They decided. No one decided for them. They decided. Now, look at my career up to this point. Luck, being given, other people deciding for me. In the middle of the TV shows and the movies and the albums and the specials, I took a big chunk of my money and I invested it in a little tour called the Comedians of Comedy. I put it together with my friends. We did small clubs. We stayed in shitty hotel rooms. We packed ourselves in this tiny van and drove around the country. The tour was filmed for a very low-budget documentary that I convinced Netflix to release. That became a very low-budget 6-episode show on Comedy Central that I still own, that we all own a part of, me and the comedians. That led to a low-budget concert film that we released on DVD. When it was all over, I was exhausted, I was in debt, and I ended up with a wider fan base made up of the kind of people I always dreamed of having as fans. And I built that from the ground up, out of nothing, with friends and people I respected and was a fan of. And I realize now I need to combine both of the lessons that I've learned. I need to decide more career stuff for myself and make it happen for myself. And I need to stop waiting to luck out and to be given. I need to unlearn those muscles. And I'm seeing this notion taking form in a lot of my friends, a lot of you out there. In you, for instance, the comedian I'm writing to. Your podcast is amazing. The little videos you're putting up on YouTube channel are getting better and better, every single one that you make. Just like when we did open mics, we better and better every week. Also, your Twitter feed's hilarious. Listen, I'm doing the Laugh Trench in Milwaukee next week. Is there any chance for an RT? Signed, your friend, Patton Oswalt. Now, this is my second letter. Dear gatekeepers in broadcast and cable executive offices, focus groups, record labels, development departments, agencies, and management companies. Shalom. Last month, I turned in the script for a pilot I co-wrote with Phil Rosenthal, who's had a share of luck and success I can only dream of. Thanks for the notes you gave me on the pilot script. I'm not going to be implementing any of them. And no, I'm not here to call you the enemy or the man, all right? I have zero right to say that based on the breaks I've gotten from you over the years. If I tried to strike a Che Guevara pose, you'd be correct in pointing out that the dramatic underlighting on my face was being reflected up from my swimming pool. I am as much to blame for my uneasiness and realization of late that I'm part of the problem, that I'm half asleep and I'm more than half complacent. But I'm still not going to implement your notes. I'm quoting Phil Rosenthal in this next thing here, but he said, after we read your notes, and I'm quoting verbatim, We're living in a post-Louis world, and these notes are from a pre-according to Jim world. I just read a letter to my fellow comedians telling them what I'm about to tell you, but in a different way, and here it is. You guys need to stop thinking like gatekeepers, and you need to do it for the sake of your own survival. Because all of us comedians, after watching Louis C.K. revolutionize sitcoms and comedy recordings and live tours and listening to WTF with Mark Maron and Comedy Bang Bang and watching the growth of the UCB theater on two coasts and seeing careers being made on Twitter and YouTube, we're beginning to realize our careers don't hinge on someone in a plush office deciding to aim a little luck in our direction. There are no more gates. They've disappeared. They're gone. All right? The model for success as a comedian in the 70s and 80s, that was middle school. Remember? They'd hand you a worksheet, fill in the blanks on the worksheet, hand them back in, you'll get your little points, and that in no way prepared you for college. College is the 21st century. College was show up if you want to or not. I'm not taking attendance. There's no fucking worksheets. There's an essay, there's a paper, there's a final, and that's it. And you decide how well you do on them. And then after you're done with that, you get even more autonomy whether you want it or not, because you're a fucking adult now. Well, that is now happening, all right? We, the comedians and writers and performers and creators, we're getting more and more comfortable with the idea that if we're not successful, it's not because we haven't gotten our foot in the door or no one's given us a hand up. We can do that ourselves now. Every single day, we can do more and more without you and depend on you less and less. If we work with you in the future on TV shows or films or stand-up specials or albums, it's going to be because we like your product and your choices and your commitment to pushing boundaries and your ability to protect the new and difficult. So here's the deal, and I think it's a really good one, all right? I want you, all of the gatekeepers, to become fans. I want you to become true enthusiasts like me. I want you to become thrill junkies. I want you to be as excited as I was when I first saw Maria Bamford stand up, or I attended the Paul F. Tompkins show, or heard Scarborough Country, or read Marilyn Mudflap, or Shelby Farrow, or Megan Amram, or Shar Starlene on Twitter. I want you to be as charged with hope as I am that we are looking at the most top-heavy with talent young wave of comedians that this industry has ever had at any time in its history. And since this new generation was born into postmodern everything, they're wilder and more uncontrollable and fearless than anything you've ever dealt with. But remind yourselves, youth is no longer king. Content is king. Right? Lena Dunham's 26-year-old voice is just as vital as Louis C.K.'s 42-year-old voice, which is just as vital as Eddie Pepitone's 50-something voice. Age doesn't matter anymore. It's all about what you have to say and the way that you're going to say it, and it's all being said right now in ways you've never heard. Please, please throw the old fucking model away. All this variety, just the tiny sampling that's at this amazing festival right now, all these voices in this audience right now, all of whom are better than mine, all of whom that are funnier than mine. I'm excited to not be the funniest guy in the room. It makes me work harder and try to be better at what I do. So be as excited and grateful as I am, all right? And if in the notes that you give me, and if in the model, and if in the opportunities you give me, you try to cram all of this wildness and all of this risk-taking back into the crappy mimeographed worksheet form of middle school, here's what's going to happen. We're just going to walk away. We're not going to work together. No harm, no foul. We're not angry about it. No hard feelings. We can walk away. And do you know why we can do that now? Because of this. Because of these. In my hand right now, I'm holding more filmmaking technology than Orson Welles had when he made Citizen Kane. I'm holding almost the same amount of cinematography, post-editing, sound editing, and broadcast capabilities as you have at your TV network or studio, and in a couple of years, it's just going to be fucking equal. it's going to be fucking equal. I don't really know how to use this to its fullest potential, but I'm starting to learn because I see what's fucking coming. And you all need to start learning too, right? This isn't a threat, gatekeepers, right? This is an offer. We like to create. We are the ones who love to make shit all the time. You're the ones who love to discover it and patronize it and support it and nurture it and broadcast it. Just please get out of our way while we do it. Just get out of our way because we have these now. So, and by the way, here's another thing too. If you get out of our way and we fucking go out and fall on our face, we won't blame you like we used to in the past. Because we won't have taken any of your notes. It will truly be on us. And I don't know if you've seen the stuff that's being uploaded to YouTube. There are sitcoms now on the internet. Some of them are brilliant. Some of them are meh. Some of them outright fucking suck. At about the same ratio as things are brilliant and meh and sucky on your fucking network. And if you think that we're somehow going to turn on you later if what we do falls on its face and blame you because we can't take fucking criticism, let me tell you something. We have gone through years of open mics to get where we need to get. Criticism is nothing to us, and comment threads are fucking electrons. Signed, sincerely, Patton Oswalt. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Have a great festival, guys. Get learning. Thank you.
First of all, thanks for coming to this, and I'm glad you got here. Yesterday was obviously a hassle with travel. They canceled my flight. It was supposed to be at 11 o'clock. They canceled that for the 12:30. How many people had the were on this flight? 11. I got the 12:30. Then you get those. You get the stewardess starts giving the bonjour. She's speaking in French, giving the flight instructions. I'm like, she could be saying anything, right, guys? And the pilot. I was thinking, what if the pilot was from Brooklyn? Imagine what that was like. Hey, forget about it. The plane, just working some stuff out. Anyway, I'd like to start by saying that, I saw Andy Kinley yesterday. Andy Kinley, I haven't seen in years. Love Andy Kinley. Comes up to me, and he's like, hey, and he's dead set. This wasn't being funny. He goes, hey, man, you're giving a speech tomorrow. That's great. I was like, thanks. He goes, yeah, I hope you memorize it. Just memorize it. And I go, hi, laugh. He goes, no, seriously, because it's like, go fuck yourself, Andy. You fucking come up with cards all day. I fucking didn't memorize. Fucking wrote it, you cocksucker. You know what I mean? Scumbag's got fucking, you know what I mean? He's gone native when he thinks he runs this fucking festival. Hope you memorize. I hope you fucking memorize tomorrow when you're reading off the goddamn cuffs of your pants, son of a bitch. But this is, shut up. It's gonna be hecklers at my fucking keynote? Shut up, beat it. Fuck is that? No, but it's I say that because it's such a comedian personality to tell you to demand what you want from the other person, whether you do it or not. Then I see Jim Norton this morning, pause for the lack of applause, and it's not a roast. I know, sir, fuck Jim Norton, I get it. Now listen, but, sir, I'm calling some cocksucking fucking, new faces, sir, all of a sudden. Kid's 25 probably. And then Norton goes to me like this. This is a typical comedian personality. He goes, hey, I'm standing here like this with no, and I'm saying, I got to give the keynote speech. It's like a bit. He's like, yeah, where do you get the credentials? Where do you get? I'm not your fucking manager, you son of a bitch. I don't know where you get the. I didn't have credentials on. Don't fucking ask me shit. Why do I say this? I don't know. I just thought it was important. And well, let's get down to the bare. By the way, I like the fact that you know how old you have to be where people ask you to be the serious person at a comic convention, and when you tell everybody, everyone's like, yeah, that sounds about right. Do you know how almost out of it you are when people are like, good, you're going to be the fucking father figure for us at this fucking comedy convention. Fucking assholes. I hope we all explode in a fucking fireball in 5 minutes in this place. Joke will be on all of you for having lived most of your life already. I didn't even want to say that. Well, let's start with my comedy career. I started by, my dream, like all of you, was just to be able to get up and do stand-up comedy. If I could just have the balls to get up. Then you get up, you have the balls to get up, get a few laughs. So they're like, holy shit, if I could just make money at it, that would be respect. Who fucking got to do that? Then you're like, if I could just make a living doing stand-up, I wouldn't have to worry about my day job. And then you get to that point, and you're like, well, if I could get some TV exposure, so then people come to see me, and they come to see me, and then you get that, and, it's that point, it's at that point that you start to realize that it doesn't keep going like that, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have ups and downs. Like, I was on MTV, and then I was back, like, trying to get gigs, where I had to live in with Mother for a year. I really don't want to tell that part, but anyway, and then, it's on the record, but, then I was on Saturday Night Live, and then next thing you know, I was doing fucking firehouses with Bob Levy in New Jersey. And even the crowd was laughing, like, what are you doing here? I was like, I don't know what happened. But nothing against Bob. He's home watching this right now. No, but I'm just saying that it's one of those businesses where unless you find my whole goal was the same hack goal that most people have, which is like, I want to keep getting to a different level. I don't just want to be I love stand-up. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's your favorite thing in the world. It gets you high. And even though it would be a nightmare for you if you were living your dream of being some shit, you know what I mean? Like, your dream is what? To get that kind of money and exposure, and then you're going to go do stand-up, and everybody's going to love you, because you're on the Big Bang Theory. No one's going to come out. Can you see yourself as one of the 5 people there, and you're doing press, trying to be in a good mood? No, you're a miserable fucking comedian. You'd be the person on the set that's fucking yelling, screaming, starting shit with the goddamn director, going, that line's not funny. I can rewrite that, So this is basically what happened to me was, you can look at my story, for example, and say, oh, here's a guy that knocked around, was up and down, and then eventually he found his niche of doing, like, one-man historical fucking, I don't even know what you call, but that would be the fucking Disney version, yes. I'm really fulfilled, you know what I mean? But we all know, those of us that know me, we all know that's fine, but it's like, I've also, like, been writing show, all this shit that you want done, and, and that doesn't get done, and for various reasons. Sometimes it's because the networks are not the brightest people in the world, and sometimes it's because you sabotage yourself. So really what I'm talking about here, what did I call it? Loners in unity? Shit, that was a Freudian. Why do I call it Loners in Unity? Because these pricks that run this festival made me come up with a title 3 weeks ago. I try to say I'm a comedian. I don't have a fucking title and a theme, and they make you write it out. They wanted me to write out my speech and hand it to them beforehand. This is what I'm saying. There's a disconnect between us and each other. Everybody loves to come out to a comedy festival. Do you not know comedians yet? I'm not writing out the fucking speech. That's not how it goes. I write the notes, and then we do the speech, and the funny parts are there. And this brings me to my first topic, actually, which is bookers in general. I'm going to talk about the industry a little bit, then talk about comedians. But as far as, first let's talk about the managers. Let's talk about bookers first. We'll get to managers later. Bookers, here's the thing, okay? If you're booking like a comedy show, stop trying to craft the fucking TV set, okay? Your shows are uneven to begin with. Any late night show, the show has an up and down. By the time we come on, it's a goddamn breath of fresh air. Even for me, I know all the comedians, and I'm so happy after the tepid, mediocre. Why are we responsible for crafting our set where there's no fat left, meaning no flavor? It's like having a meatball that's been cooking in a sauce for like 4 hours, and then you take the meatball and go, this meatball's great, you didn't need that sauce. No, that's part of what makes it. Part of what makes every comedian here funny is not always the streamlined, fat-free version of them. You know what I'm saying? So you're destroying yourselves. Anyway, also, nobody believes you when you say standards and practices. What a coincidence. What a coincidence they had the same note that you had 3 weeks ago, okay? Nice, Rebecca. Okay, for networks, this is just a quick thing for networks. Following the plan that failed 90% of the time for the last 70 years, I guess it's something to do. I don't really... Because there's nothing worse than sitting in a meeting after doing what we do all these years, and they're just sitting there going, our audience, first of all, we play your audience every night, you stupid motherfuckers. That's what we do. We play audiences all over the country. That's what we do. We're test marketing every goddamn night. And you guys strike out. If you had like a 50% success rate, I'd be like, oh, they know something. You're you're going 1 for 10 at the bat, and then you hit a double, and you go, we got this pitcher's number. Don't worry. We got him. Now, for you stand-ups that say, you know what, because I'm just speaking from what I've done. My whole career was like, I'm not going to try to get money from outside. I'm going to work within the system. I am the fucking system. I'm like, hey, everybody knows me. I've been around forever. This is throughout my series. I did this. Now the next thing should be they should give me this. It just never worked that way. And maybe it'll work for you. Once in a while, you get lucky. Once in a while, Louis C.K. But most people, it's not going to be that way. Just think, Patrice, Geraldo, they never found fucking shows for those two, with those large personalities, and they couldn't make a show for them. You know what I mean? So think about that. It's, how are they going to do? I mean, Norm Macdonald, and this is not a slam on Comedy Central. Sure it's not. But, this day's been coming a long time. Fucking, now listen. They had Norm Macdonald, who's like the most eclectic fucking Renaissance mad mind, hosting a goddamn sports show. That was their idea. That's called putting somebody in a fucking harness. He's hosting a goddamn sports show. Of course that wasn't... Sports is one of the many... He doesn't even like sports. He just likes gambling, so he knows a lot about sports. You're taking one of the most brilliant minds and putting him in a fucking... I hope your next sports show is hosted by Aaron Hernandez. I'm serious. I hope you have a fucking meeting with him over there. But it's Comedy Central is our kind of, you know what I mean? You are their, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great shows on Comedy Central. I'm not going to trash it, but you're also, stop test marketing to fucking 14-year-olds, okay? Here's the way it's supposed to work. You're doing it backwards. Adults influence kids. That's how it's supposed to be, not the fucking other way around. What else? By the way, anybody at this festival who's in the business, in the industry part, who judges by one set you saw somebody do at this festival, you're a fucking audience. You're not in the industry. You're just another person that was at a show and goes, hey, I thought that guy bombed. Stop judging by audience response. I know that sounds stupid, but if somebody bombs like 5 times in a row, yes, there's a problem. I get it. But one weird set, you can't be judging the guy for the rest of his career on. The fucking heartfelt moment, annoying, right? Even my fellow comedians who support me are like, boo, boo. It sucked. Fine. All right. Comedy Central roast. Stop having fucking celebrities on and stop writing jokes for people. Everybody writes their own shit from now on. It takes away the organic thing. And that leads me to a quick digression about Tough Crowd. Here's the thing about Tough Crowd. No, look, doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, but I'm just saying, the fact is, I created that show, and I brought that show from NBC, so Comedy Central already had a show, and here's what bothers me. You tried to replace the show without me after the show left, but this goes to point something out. You can't just replace shit. Every comedian is individual. I'm not the best fucking host. I wasn't even the best host of Tough Crowd. It doesn't matter. There's something organic it's alchemy that you have to just trust. You can't just look at the fucking outside and see whatever, you know what I mean? You have to go beyond. It's creative business. It's not a fucking business like software, despite the podium and me giving the keynote speech in a suit. You should hire comedians as consultants like fucking, those beagles that sniff bed bugs. I don't know. I was never really good at those analogy things, but believe me. Now, club owners, if you keep I don't even know if they're all club owners here, but if they're all club owners, you can't keep hiring crowd-pleasing hacks. Don't get panicked looks on your faces when somebody's doing a new bit for 3 minutes that doesn't kill every night and go, I think there's a problem. It's not a problem. It's part of the fucking process. You're architects of your own destruction. You hire hacks. You take care. You make sure the 5 people that are heckling get taken care of. Those drunks, not the 150 people that are horrified by these 5 people ruining the show so they can't hear the comedian. That's a good way to run a business. That's gonna fucking last. It's been bugging me for a long time, obviously, but I'm just saying, you're chasing people out of your clubs every time you let these fucking idiots. All right, now on to managers and agents. Managers and agents, first of all, telling people they need more Twitter followers is not management advice. Some kid give it. You know, that's not guiding a career right there. People can't get more fucking Twitter followers. It doesn't work like that. You can't get, you know what I mean? They're calling up friends and it's pathetic. You might as well be a fucking stockbroker calling up your family trying to get them in goddamn business. Could you follow me? So my manager will send me on for fucking, you know. But the truth is, here's what I'm realizing about managers and agents. We know we need you. We can't function without you. We couldn't all have gotten up here without you. The minute that flight got canceled yesterday, everyone just stood and fucking. We're not very, you know, functional people. And we have a sick relationship with you. I acknowledge there's 2 sides to this shit. We're not the easiest people. With managers and agents, we're like the jealous, possessive psycho. You know, you bring us bad news, we explode and blame you. It's like that boyfriend that's psychotic. If you say somebody else, you're thinking of working with somebody else, we might get violent. We can be a little jealous. And you seduce us when you meet us, flatter us, make us feel like we're the only one, and then push us aside when somebody else shows up, right? Just when I finished that, I knew I needed something else there, but I'm at the keynote. But here's the other thing for managers. Quit using, and agents, quit using the seasons as excuses, okay? Nobody looks at anything after the summer. The holidays, from Thanksgiving through New Year's, through the fucking Chinese Lunar Year. I've lived in the United States my whole life. Holidays don't last 3 months, okay? It's not fucking Ramadan, you cocksuckers. Will you please stop the shit? So annoying. But the truth is, we're a couple. Let's come out and admit it. We need both of you. We're the fun-loving asshole at the party, and you're the designated driver who takes us home. You get to be with the fun person, and then you got to deal with the horse shit on the way home. It's, you know. But that's part of my whole theme. Don't worry, I do have a theme underneath it all. Believe me. How about this? Oh. First of all, open micers. This goes to open micers. I guess they're not here, but, you know, people watch this on YouTube, don't they? Open micers, you stink, but you think you're great. But that's okay. That's how you're supposed to be. I stunk and thought I was great for many years. It's the only thing that keeps you in the business. It's part of the makeup of being stand-up person, right? And it takes 5 years to really know. People doing it 5 years, it takes 10 years. I was lying when I said 5 years. But here's my little other note to stand-ups. Not that I'm Mr. Performance. Suddenly I'm going to be up here like, you know. But I'm just trying to tell you, when you're doing stand-up, I see so many funny stand-ups on Comedy Central around the club, and everyone's standing there, ironically, not moving. Move around. This is you're going for your life right now. The only one that can pull off that for more than 10 minutes without boring people is Todd Barry. Everybody else needs to fucking move around and sell it a little bit. It's not hack to sell the shit you've been writing and slaving over. It's not a hack fucking move. You stand up there like this, and you're like, I don't know. You know, 1 out of every 300 drunken audience members is thinking, hey, he's a good writer. You know, these fucking people don't know. Just move, walk, fucking open up your body, yell once in a while. Get out there, look them in the fucking eye. I'm trying to save your goddamn career, you know. I did it for years. I stood up there in monotone for fucking 10 years. Everybody's like, oh, all the comedians thought it was kind of amusing, but, you know, I was fucking dying every night. To comedians, this is to the comedians, you know, my fellow, all of you people that are up here. First of all, don't be a dick to the new people. They're annoying. They want to drain you of your knowledge and use you for whatever they can. But that's what you do to people, and that's what people do to people. That's just human nature. You know what I mean? Just play along. Don't be a cranky bastard, okay? the rest of this is more or less to us. First of all, so what I'm saying is, if I had gone, what I tried to do was I tried to go the normal route, which is I did every time, hey, I was on SNL, I'm like, I can go out and pitch these shows. I wrote the shows out. I took the screenwriting classes, went there, met people. We love Colin. We love him, you know what I mean? And what happened? They're going another way, but they love you. They want to work with you some. Oh, that's great, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that doesn't work. Like I said, if you're lucky and you can pull that off, good for you. In the meantime, you got to go, you got to have to work on your own. And when I say on your own, I'm saying work with each other, because we're the only ones. People at networks or cable, and they're never going to think what I think is funny. They're just not. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? You got to work with each other. So here's what I'm saying. First, comedian advice. Then I'm giving you my industry advice, which once again, you're like, well, if all those things failed, who are you to give us that industry? Well, good point. But, deal with that after my great comic advice. First of all, we're the only people around that I see that are actually saying something. So say something. Say something. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody just gets locked into one thing and they're like, this is what my guy would say. No, your fucking person would say whatever you think, whatever's interesting to you, whatever your outside interests are, you should be bringing them on to. I mean, look, even my things I'm doing right now, they're just shit. There's like anybody in comedy. We all know anybody can do that kind of stuff if you just focus in on one thing and then do it. You know what I mean? Not anybody can get Seinfeld to bankroll the early one, but I'm just saying that anyone. But I'm just saying, anybody that can get thematic, not that you want to, but at a certain point you have to be that person that people go, oh, I see he's that kind of person. If you're just randomly all over this, how many people, you kill every fucking night, but it's arbitrary and people just forget because there's nothing for them. They got to sink their teeth into shit, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, it was pretty boring, but it was something I had to say. And when you're saying something funny, please be funny. If you're going to preach, it's fine. If you're a preacher comic, preach fucking funny. If you're just preaching and if you get more applause breaks than laughs, you're a pandering fucking populist, okay? You're in danger of becoming a hack. I say as I get an applause break. That Todd Barry thing didn't do what I thought it would do either. Oh, sorry. Am I still up? Okay. Now we have to talk about, of course, rape jokes and all this stuff. Here's the sad thing about the whole. First of all, I love these fucking fundamentalist new speech monitors. I thought we were the ones who were going to slide by this politically correct fucking nightmare. But apparently everyone's watching and blogging about that shit too. First of all, here's why it's so infuriating. Sam Morrill, the original rape joke controversy of this year, his joke was a fucking comment on how people accept rape jokes. That was the whole thing. It wasn't even a rape. It was a comment on fucking rape jokes. Then the fucking idiots, they don't even know what they're outraged about. It's just infuriating to me. But that being said, don't get fucking lazy and just write, whatever the most shocking shit is. Because shock could easily become the new hack. Edgy comedy could become hack. And pretty soon we'll all be up here like 1971 again. All right, it was. Now, here's the other thing, okay? Headliners. When you start headlining, don't become a cheap fuck. You know how many headliners turn into fucking assholes? I mean, once people start headlining, the industry exploits us. Then somebody starts headlining, they pay their friend to work with them like $58. And it's like, hey, they come to see me. I got to do my. Oh, that was fast. You turned into everything you hate. Okay. You shouldn't have more than 64% of your act should not be dick jokes, or else I don't want to hear any complaints. Oh, everybody's pissed now. What are you adding up? That was like, hey, now that's too much. You've gone too far this time. 64%. I'm being fucking very liberal, I think. Okay. Oh, so here's what happened. What happened was, the good news is, success in stand-up is very bad for your act. In a way, I'm glad I kept, every time I got where I thought I wanted to go, I just keep falling back for whatever. Sometimes it was self-sabotage. Sometimes it was, like I said, the industry. Doesn't matter. The point is this. when you reject stuff, like I've rejected a lot, I've turned down a lot of things, and sometimes I turned them down because I'm a comedian and I was in good taste, and I was like, fuck that. And sometimes I turned it down because I was scared. You know what I mean? And I was scared, and that's the big thing nobody talks about. Fear. Fear, ego, and control are the three things, because when you're doing stand-up, you're doing the one thing the whole world is afraid to do, and you're standing up there doing it. But then when you're put into a situation where you don't control the room, you don't have the mic, you don't have an audience, suddenly people become a little bit scared. And I'll just say the way it came for me, Austin Powers, I was supposed to see that movie Austin Powers a long time ago, like 17, 18 years ago. Mike Myers calls me up. In fact, he's from Canada. And he calls me up, now that I thought about it. This is what they're going to highlight on the local news. And then Mike Myers called him. And Mike Myers called me, and he said, look, I have this part. I saw you on Larry Sanders' show playing this guy, and I want you to play the same basic, just do what you did there in my movie, Austin Powers. And I was like, Mike, thanks, but I'm working on my own shit, but thanks. I'm sure many of you have done the same shit in various incarnations, right? Where people offer you stuff, you're like, no, that's all right, I'll do my own thing. You know what I mean? And he called me, he goes, Colin, you got the part. I'll fly you out. It's first call. You got the part, right? And I was like, Mike, thank you, but I'm working on my own stuff too. And then finally he just laughed. He goes, I'm not going to beg you. I go, Mike, I respect you. Good luck with your thing. Good luck with my thing. Now, why are they laughing at my thing? Well, but I'm just saying that if I had done that because, I didn't believe in his project, I didn't even know what the project was at the time. Nobody knew the juggernaut that was Austin Powers. All right, but I'm saying, I know I'm acting like it's the Godfather, but you know what I'm saying. It's big enough. But what I'm saying is that when you're doing, there's a fear that I feel that when I see stand-ups go, fuck that, I'm not fucking selling out. I don't go to parties. The two biggest regrets I would say I had in my stand-up career was three. One was not just loving the fact that I was just to keep that energy of like I'm making a living. When I first made a living doing stand-up, I was walking around high all the time, and you could keep that forever if I really had thought about what that means, Two, taping and listening to every set. And three was making sure that see if I tape this. What the fuck was three? Oh, this is the one I subconsciously didn't want to say. Going to every stupid party. I feel like I spent my whole career getting invited to all these big mover and shaker fucking events, and I just, fuck that. I go to the clubs, man. Fucking gym rat, fuck them. I don't talk to those assholes. But guess what? I could have put on this lovely suit and gone for a half hour and just shook hands and fucking left and gone to do comedy. But I didn't do it. And one reason was because, fuck them, I'm not going to be part of these fucking assholes. But the other part was I was afraid. I was uncomfortable. I wouldn't say I was afraid, but I was uncomfortable to be around that. You know what I mean? To be around all these people and uncomfortable because they have something I want. They have the power to give me what I want. And I'm sure this applies to a lot of you. It's like, fuck you. You don't fucking tell me. I'll fucking go work the crowd. I'll fucking do my comedy. You know what I mean? And so I'm not telling you to go kiss ass and sell out. All I'm saying is that if you want to get whatever it is you're trying to get, you do have to ask somebody at some point, where they actually have money or they have power. You know what I mean? Where you have to, and you don't got to kiss their ass and, sell yourself out. You don't have to change anything about your content, but you do have to be civil, show up at a few meetings, look them in the eye, try to remember their names. How many fucking names do you forget immediately? You know what I mean? At these festivals, you're like, holy shit, who's that? And it's always somebody, you're like, oh, fuck. And then, they get used to it. I think of some of the biggest names that I've forgotten over the years. And so I'm just saying that there's a level where, the responsibility to us is to write. You're supposed to be writing all the time. You're supposed to be listening to your sets. But you have to take responsibility for being around the fucking industry. You can't just, step out of it. All right, I'm rambling, but hold on. Yeah, humility. Okay. So comedians fear that. What we should fear is becoming a pompous ass, becoming a cheap headliner, becoming a fucking hack or a thief. Here's what we do fear. Being vulnerable, looking stupid, not by your own choice, right? You feel like being mediocre and not being a genius. Let me just save us all the pressure of not being a genius. Nobody's a fucking genius. If there's a genius, we'll all know about it and we'll let you know if you're a genius. We'll all come and go, you're a genius. Don't worry about it. You're not going to prove you're a genius, especially to a bunch of fucking smart-ass fucking comedians that don't miss much, okay? There's no geniuses in the whole of the business. You can relax. Even Woody Allen turns out shit 40% of the time. And he's the highest batting average of all, right? And what you fear the most is being silenced. That's the fear. I mean, 80% of you right now would like to grab this fucking mic and take it over from here. I understand that, you know? So all I'm going to say is this keynote speech is a fucking mistake. We all knew that from the beginning. Why am I trying to fucking, half of you are going to be going, what a fucking idiot, and the other half are going to be, you willful, unappreciative, fucking judgmental, jaded, surly, self-centered bratty. But the only ones in this whole country, this phony, I mean America, but you can count Canada too, I'm sure, as far as this phony, the only ones that fucking tell the truth is right here. So I love you guys. Thanks, man. Bye.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Todd Barry Podcast. One of my biggest guests ever, next to Janine Garofalo and Jim Gaffigan, Colin Quinn is here. Let's talk about Montreal, because you did a shout out to me.
That's correct. In Montreal, I forgot about that.
How do you forget? I didn't forget about it.
No, I know you didn't.
You did the keynote address,
right,
at the Just for Laughs festival, which is the big festival for comedians.
Yes.
People come from all over the world.
Yeah.
Convene in Montreal.
That's correct.
And they hire every year. They hire someone.
Well, I don't think they hired me. I don't think I got paid for the keynote address.
No? You did that for the love.
Yeah.
So in your keynote address, you were telling people how to do comedy.
Right.
Now, you're giving your thoughts on things that can make comedy better.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you going to start giving me clipped one-word answers, man?
Well, I mean, I thought you were going to, go into... You didn't watch the keynote?
You want me to keep going? Of course I watched it.
Then what the hell are you saying?
I had to watch it until I had to leave to go do my podcast. I did hear.
Yeah, you had to watch it until your name got mentioned, then you probably left.
The second time I mentioned it. You were talking about comedians, how they should move around on stage.
Yes, what I was saying was that there's a school of thought, which you probably had some influence on, a good significant amount of influence, but where people feel like they want to be ironically distanced, or they want to be, some of them want to be a little bit removed from the process of joking.
Detached,
and whatever it is, it's a little bit of a too cool for school attitude. And I said the only one that can pull that off, unless you're Todd Barry, don't try it. Because when it's organic to somebody like yourself, it's great. It works. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it works because it's organic to who you are. You're being yourself. But if you're trying to do that, you know what I mean? And even you probably could move around more on stage. I mean, I haven't seen you for an hour, but I'm saying...
You don't want to go redo the speech? With an addendum?
When you're watching a visual... Comedy's a visual art, too. It's not just verbal. To us, it's verbal, because we're writers, and, we're a great joke. But to people sitting in a live audience, you want to see people moving around. It's like the same... Like, crowd work always gets a bad rap. I mean, I know you're doing the crowd... No, I'm saying it always got a... And guess what? If crowd work, it's like anything else. If it's done, it's like a McDonald's joke. A McDonald's joke is not hack because it's about McDonald's. Somebody could write the most brilliant joke ever about McDonald's. But people, even in our industry, don't even understand what they're talking about. And same with crowd work. If you're doing crowd work where you're just talking about, oh, this guy represents this, even when they're not there, you know how some kid will be like, oh, and there's the gay guy, but there's no gay guy there. Oh, there's the black guy, and he has to use like an Italian guy for his wife. And it's like, no. But if you're doing organic crowd work and fitting it in somehow to a bigger picture like you do, that's a different story. So I'm saying that's what I mean by spontaneity. If you're in a club, people walk, a guy standing there reading his jokes to you, and I used to do it, as you know. I used to just ramble, and never moved, never did it, because I was keeping, like, this is the way I do it. And it's like, No, there's still an audience sitting there. There's still people. This is a moment. So don't skip over moments. Is what
I pace around a little bit.
Yeah, all right. You don't have to be defensive. I was saying the fact that you work
I know.
in the moment, work in crowd, you do it. It keeps it spontaneous. I'm saying these are real moments. Why pass over them? You know.
I was actually sitting there in the audience, or standing in the audience while you were saying that, and you said, yeah, comedians should walk around more. And I was like, why is he saying that? And then you did the disclaimer. It was the ultimate.
Yeah.
Of all, you didn't just say there's some exceptions. You said there's one.
I said there was one exception, Todd Barry.
And you said there's only one person who can do this without boring people after 10 minutes.
Right, and that was you.
Right. But I do bore some people.
Yeah, but we all bore some people.
That's true. I wouldn't want to make everyone happy, right?
No, I would, but we can't. I gave up a long time ago.
Just sounds cool to say. I don't care.
I know.
We're punk rock, man.
Yeah.
Do you think doing your one-man shows have made you more of a performer?
No, I think it was before that. It was one day my mother, of all people, actually, my mother about 12 years ago, this is what's weird. My mother goes like this, and this is 12, 13 maybe years ago. And she goes, why don't you smile? You smile all the time, but on stage you never try to fucking charm people. Meanwhile, you're a charming guy. She goes, I see all these comedians. She goes, Chris Rock, all these guys, whoever the other comedians were, like at that time they were considered like, they would just go up there and do their material. She goes, they all charm people. They all smile a little bit at people. And I was like, first of all, how does she know all these things? She doesn't have cable.
Why are you talking to me this way, Mom? That's what I would have said.
No, she was right. She was 100% right. It's like everybody smiles a little bit, and it's letting people in but somehow, here's the way I feel about it. It's like comedians are very rigid. For people that are very loose, they're very rigid. And they're like, if you walk around, people even came up to me and was like, why'd you say the thing about walking around? I go, because physicality is not physical humor. There's a difference. Physicality is not hack. Your content hasn't changed. You're trying to fucking tell people something. That's what we do for a living. You're trying to convey something to people and and elicit laughs in what you think matters. So I'm saying, to whatever gets you there in that place, you know what I mean? It's not like you're changing your message. It's not like you're trying to talk about social inequality and you grab your cock. That wouldn't necessarily get a laugh. But I'm saying people are just very rigid in comedy sometimes. I feel like, the mindset is hacks do that. Well, guess what? If we don't do that, you're giving it to the hacks then to be popular with the crowd. So the people with no content are getting laughs because they're being visual. Why would you not want your content? Why would you not steal what the hacks do right and use it? Or else the hacks win every time.
Wow. I never thought about it that way.
No, nobody thinks about it that way. That's why I'm the intellectual of comedy in many ways.
I'm just mad at myself for not coming up with a funny line after you said grabbing your cock inequality thing. Because I'm sure there's
a joke about cock size in there.
There's a great cock size.
Well, that's the other thing is everything's a cock joke, which also annoys me. But you need them. Without them, you can't,
Do you prefer your comedy clean? You don't really.
No, not at all. I curse all the time. But, I don't like it to be all... the most frustrating thing about comedy is watching any crowd. Doesn't matter who. People do an hour of dick jokes. Everyone laughs. No, first the MC, he does dick jokes. You're like, laughing. In the middle, do another half-hour dick jokes. Everybody still laugh. Headline could do an hour of dick jokes, and the crowd never gets tired. Everything else I get tired of. Sometimes I'll be doing my act, and I'll be, I can feel it's going all right, but, And then in the middle of it, I'll say something with the word sex or something that alludes there might be a sexual thought. The room becomes chapel. It's the reverence and the quiet, like, shut up. Wait a minute, we got to hear this. It can be a little annoying.
I don't like when comics use fuck a lot. Do you use fuck?
I use fuck a lot.
You got to get rid of that. That's my advice to you.
Well, first of all...
I'm going to give my keynote speech right now.
First of all, you don't tell me I got to get rid of it. And my justification is I'm talking about things that don't have prurient, low sexual interest to them, so I have to use fuck to keep the audience if I'm talking about political stuff and stuff like that. That's how I justify it.
So you
in
use
my
it
head.
as a cheat?
I use it to keep people in there, yes. I guess you call it a cheat.
Because I always find, if I have fuck in a punchline, and then I go, can I make this funny by taking the fuck out?
But I could go the other way and say, people are making dick jokes without the word fuck in them, and it's still a dick joke. Maybe you should look at... What's that? No, I'm saying that could be the other argument, is a lot of people are doing dick jokes that don't have the word fuck in them, so they're not clean just because they don't have a dick joke. It's still a titillation. You know what I mean? If you want to start bantering that back and forth,
I just mean when someone's like, and then a fucking, then the fucking guy, and then the fucking.
No, I know. It
makes it sound like a dum-dum.
It does, but I'm just saying that the other argument is a lot of people say I don't work like that, but meanwhile every joke is a dick or shit joke surrounded by clean language. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the other side of it. But you're right. The word fuck gets a little excessive, but so does the amount of dick jokes.
This is why I respect what we do more than doctors or anything else, is because you can be a doctor if you decide to be.
True, yeah.
Like, there's just no leap of faith as a doctor. You just go, I'm going to school. That's why everybody's mother goes, yay, you're going to be a doctor. That's why my mother was like,
He's
Ma, at 22, her boy, she saw a boy become a man who still lived at the house, and my decision, my drum roll was comedian. And she went,
That is the truth. You know what it is? There's no finish line. Like
I'm still falling.
A lot of parents want the guarantee. Like you said, a doctor. Your kids to have a guarantee. There's a line when all of a sudden they hand you paper after years of school and money and shit, and you step over that line and I'm a doctor. We're in this gray area of,
could end tomorrow.
What the fuck is it?
And we made the choice.
Right.
See, that's the thing is people they're complaining about, motherfucker, this shit ain't. This is what, sometimes my mother gets, she goes, I think I might get this deal and shit. And she goes, here's time for you to buckle down. I go, are you giving me fucking advice on my shit that I've done alone? You don't have a passport, Mom.
She's just...
You're not worldly. Like, but I sit here and listen to her be a mother.
A motherly
which is why
advice.
women have kids,
Motherly.
just to have somebody that's forced to listen to them.
Yeah.
But we have arguments now because I don't have to listen to my mother. I go, Ma, what the fuck are you talking about? Legitimately. Like, not Ma, what's going on? Like, Ma... Here, have a seat. I could just feel you drifting away. Just sit down. Your feet are swelling up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because this business is so lonely. Because no one believes in you. When you go, I'm going to be a comic, everyone goes, it's like, you ever try to tell somebody an actual dream? Man, I fell asleep last night, man. It was a unicorn with a gun, and he had on boots. That's what you should say when you say you would go to show business.
Yeah.
Alone.
To you, it was like fucking,
I used to fucking go outside, right? When you first start out, you can only get a gig every 2 months. Every 2 months. And I used to go outside and just go someplace pretending I was going to do comedy, so she didn't think that this was a fiasco.
Shit.
I'm telling you. So now it's like you at this point. It's a lonely game. That's what people... Sometimes you get that depressed thing where you go, I wish it was important to more people. I wish...
self-pity thing, yeah. Where
I really want more people to... I'd be happier if more people
knew who
I was.
You get that too?
I just would be happier.
What do you think? Because I get that all the time too. I don't. What do you think it is? What are we not doing right? How come I can't? I've grown to believe that I'm just not for everybody. What the hell am I going to do?
I just had this conversation with Opie, man, and it's like I'm thinking that if I was a vegetable and I was a Brussels sprout, and I was going, man, I know people love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I just
have to get out to the people. But you go, you know what? People might not like Brussels sprouts, man. I might have what I have. I don't. I think because I see the laughter and the reaction from people who love me, and I never want to turn my back on the people who actually enable me to exist.
That's good. You should hold on to that.
Yeah, but I see their reaction. I see the people that I do touch. I touch them on such a real level that I go, there's no way I can be this irrelevant in terms of socially irrelevant, in terms of numbers.
Well, let's talk about it because in the sense that because I'm the same way. I'm talking to Patrice ONeal. Like I have real loyal fans. I don't have a lot of them. They're not. I can't.
And they come out and I'm gonna ask you. do you see the same people every single?
Oh yeah. They'll come out 2 or 3 times. Some of them will bring me presents. I had a woman last night. I was in Minnesota. She came up and she said, before you did that joke, I started to cry a little bit. I mean, deep shit. And the podcast is helping out a lot. But, when I start to think, it's like, why? How come I don't have a wider appeal? And I think it's because we got too much fucking heart. I think that, when you do comedy that's honest and you're taking an emotional risk, that means that's real discomfort there. That means you're not ending a joke with and now everything's good. There's
someone told me this kid opened up for me. He's a fan of mine, but he's a comic. But he revealed himself to be a real fan.
Yeah.
And we talked, and I think he's been wondering
about you,
about me, going, why? He watches,
I get that,
and goes, why?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people feel there's people out there that go, if Mark doesn't do it, how can I do? They need you to make it so that they believe that they can also. I'm in that category. They go, why isn't? They try to really go, well, why isn't Patrice this? Oh, and they try to go, oh, that's why. But really, there's a lot of people in the business who are terrible human beings. I'm not a terrible human being. I'm actually, I'm loyal.
You're an honest guy too, which can work against us.
I'm trying to be honest because I know that I have skeletons. I know that I have issues. I know that I have things in my life that, I always said I know why. I know exactly why Michael Richards and Pee Wee Herman, why their careers suffer, is because they had put themselves out there as these people who were fun-loving. Right. Their characters
clowns
are just yay.
Yeah.
So when one goes nigger and the other one is jerking off, he has a kid's show. It's like he was living a lie. And when people expose you for lying, like the Tiger Woods thing, I always thought he should go, hey man, look, my wife. If he had said this, my wife won't lick my asshole.
Yeah.
I love it licked.
Yeah.
This waitress licks my asshole.
Yeah.
I should be able.
When should he have said that exactly?
As soon as they put him in a corner, as soon as I noticed something about, and this is talking about comedy.
Yeah.
I noticed a long time when I'm bombing.
Yeah.
When I'm bombing, the worst thing to ever do is try to not bomb. The best thing to do is take everybody to die. Everyone dies. I'm not dying.
Yeah.
You're going to die with me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to win you back because I noticed about people.
Yeah.
People are, when power corrupts, when an audience sees that you're struggling and then you're trying not to struggle and you need them not to struggle, they get worse. They don't get better to try to help you dig yourself. They want to put the dirt on your grave and watch you fail. So I go, guess what? You're going to watch yourself. Everyone's going to fucking be miserable. And when there's hecklers in the audience who are letting, and then I don't get mad at the hecklers. I get mad at the people. You're going to allow this guy to ruin our relationship. You know this is going nowhere. You know that I'm finished with him, yet you won't have him removed. You'll let this piece of shit fuck up you know what? You getting what you fucking deserve. You're letting it happen. You fucking weak people. You're weak.
So you think this might be why we're not?
I love honest shit, man.
Yeah.
My thing with Tracy is this. I don't fall for no banana and no tailpipe. I don't listen to anybody that says it. I believe the opposite. I try to make the opposite opinion right away.
Yep.
Tracy's been that a long time. Tracy's been frivolous with his performances a long time. He say some ill shit, not just fucking gay and shit. But here's what he's doing now. It's simple as this, man. Mm-hmm. The game we're in is like jail. You gotta be. There's no rogue, lonely, gunslinger guy in Hollywood. There's no I do it myself and nobody fucks with me.
Do it my way.
My way. It ain't none of that. You got to be affiliated. Like if you go to prison, you can't go in there and go, "Hey, I'm just gonna read my gun books and." I'm just going to chill out. You got to join something.
Yeah.
And if you don't join something, the guy's going to find out, so who you affiliate with? Well, I'm just chilling out. I'm just hanging.
I'm my own person.
I'm going to rape you. Because you have no affiliations, my friend.
Right.
You're not down with a cartel. So what Tracy, I mean, this is conjecture, but Tracy's just paying what he owed. It's like The Godfather. The guy goes, Godfather, and he goes, well, you never even fucking say hi to me.
Yeah.
Mike, you know what? Here's my deal. I'll do what you want, and when I need you, I'm just gonna come get what I need. And he goes, you hear this? Knock on the door. And it's like, you got to pay me back.
Yeah.
Tracy owes a lot of people his career. Because why do you think he could say, now trust me, people that know Tracy, he says some ill shit that he could get in trouble like he is for every day.
Yeah.
This time around, he said something, and they said, oh, here's a good time. Tracy? Yeah, what? What's up? Yeah, you're in deep shit. We're going to make you apologize, but you owe. And the fear that when you owe is that they're going to take everything from you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they didn't make you, they can't really break you. And you see, I say they. It's the cartels, man. You do not, look at gay people
I know
have
exactly
a powerful cartel. I affiliate myself with Jews, low-level to mid-level Jews, because they deal in money. You pay them dough. You here's your 10. Can I do my thing over here? Pay you this. I'm not big enough to get in big trouble, So is it possible I can just do this? Here's your dough. And the thing I like about Jews, dealing with them as a cartel, is they don't want you to be Jewish. You don't have to join. You don't have to give anything but what you owe.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fucking, you don't have to fucking go to the parties.
You don't have to put on the yarmulke.
You don't have to do it.
No. Mm-hmm.
So it's a very fair thing. A lot of these cartels, man, you gotta be that.
Got to be in with them and
believe that and
believe everything they believe in.
Yes.
Don't speak ill of them.
Yep.
Yep.
And the thing is, Tracy has to pay what he owes. And I knew that when Tina Fey turned on him. Tina Fey has been his great benefactor for many years.
Sure.
So this one thing has turned the tides of Tracy's career, meaning it's made him public enemy number one. When I heard this story past one day, I said, Tracy's the new spokesman for gay shit now.
And that's exactly
we said
what
yesterday,
happened.
Patrice, that they grab you as a hostage.
You don't have to be a hostage.
But he's a hostage to Glad right now, and Glad will let Tracy know when they're done with him.
They're not ever going to be done with him because it's power. It's corruptible, man. Like when a bully takes your money, he don't go, thank you, I just needed it today.
He keeps going.
Tracy had, I don't know how much money he got in the bank, but I would think it's enough to say no. Leave me alone.
Fuck you.
But he sets himself up where Tracy doesn't have. Like, if I'm saying this, I'll hear from Tracy, meaning, don't talk shit about. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, don't. I'm on your side. I know what you're going through, but I made a decision. That's why people go, well, why Patrice isn't? I don't want to owe that much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because there's people that count on me to have like a revolutionary attitude sometimes, just where I argue.
Yeah.
So I let a lot of people down if I put myself in a position to have to flop around on my belly.
Have to be a spokesperson like that, or right.
That's why I talk so much, because I want people to understand what I'm saying. Now, if I talk about gays and talk about anything I have a problem with, I'm going to make sure if they're going to end my career, that it's a muscle move, that it's unfair, that it's not just, because Tracy just goes faggots, 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 and more faggots, and if my son was a faggot, and then you go, Tracy, what the fuck? He didn't say nothing to apologize for.
Mm-hmm.
What are you apologizing for?
Yeah, you were doing your act.
But he's
on
been
a comedy stage.
But the people who make you owe, they go, this guy is setting himself up to owe us big, because we're allowing him to feel himself. I'm going to pull my stomach out. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to fucking get DUIs. I'm going to fall downstairs. I'm going to get a kidney from a bitch and leave her. I'm going to do all kind of shit.
Holy shit.
I'm going to do all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm invincible. Then I do something that I do all the time. Faggots. And now, his benefactor. Oh, Tracy. We're disgusted with him. And now they pick him up by the fucking hem of his neck and the back of his drawers and toss him out into every gay thing. Tracy's from the hood.
Yeah. That's my big deal with
Tracy's from the hood. You understand?
Yeah.
You're going to get... You're now the new... From a guy who just goes faggots to the understanding, delicious spokesman for gayness. You got to watch... These motherfuckers watch TV and see the trends. There's a commercial I hate so much.
I am a student of commercials, by the way.
I hate this commercial so much. I don't know how to approach how much I hate it. Because gay also means happy.
Sure does.
Now, we can play that game, but gay does mean happy. Homosexuals have commandeered the word gay into where it's not happy anymore. Because there's a commercial, because the boss of the Phoenix Suns came out the closet. The boss of the Phoenix Suns is gay. And they do a commercial where they're playing basketball and the guy's like, hey, man, you suck.
Yep.
Hey, man, you ain't nothing. Hey, man, you ain't got no jump shot. And then one guy goes, yeah, your moves are gay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then he has some of the Phoenix Suns on the spokesman like, hey, man, that's not cool to say that. Gay is... What?
They don't believe that.
Motherfucker, so now... Right. No. Fucking moms. Like, look, here's what we all let happen. We all let context be destroyed.
Yeah.
Context is gone.
And that was...
I can't slip up. I can't say nothing. You can't understand what... You don't feel me? You don't feel what I'm saying? Look, what he did... I can't go, I can defend that. But I will say this. Here's what happens with Tracy. Here's what can happen. And, I believe in conspiracies, man. Mm-hmm. It just sets people up who want to control everyone, right? Where you go, okay, Tracy, a guy like Tracy, he isn't qualified to have an opinion. Having an opinion, it should be in the hands of people who are qualified intellectually. So guys like him, if he don't have a degree, they'll start making language elite where you can't have an opinion. But I say Tracy can be as ignorant, as fucked up as he wants to be, because I want to be able to communicate. And if I'm fucked up, let me be fucked up. But I support anything as long as you're not hitting me and robbing me.
Right.
Hate speech. Why can't I hate you?
Joe Rogan really, and I know he probably, anybody that says is like on his side or whatever, he probably go fuck you, because he went through a lot of shit dealing with Carlos. But Carlos finally just
admitted
said,
to everything.
I fucking steal. You better watch your fucking material, because I'll take it, remix it, and make it a hit.
Just like a rap guy.
I'll add Mexican to it.
Well, that means somebody is owed royalties. And you made a lot of money off of these people that you steal from.
But he's justifying by saying if rap artists could take someone's old song and make it. I understand, but that's basically what he was saying. If a rap guy could do that, I could do the same thing and make it my own.
And the argument against Carlos would be that a joke is contingent upon catching you off guard. Music is not. Like a joke has an effect the first time you know what I mean? It's a different thing.
And could you please stop saying joke? This is the thing that kills me. Back in the day, people stole jokes. It was like two Jews walked in the bar. It was meant to be told everybody. Carlos is taking fucking your life's analogies, man.
Yeah, because these are stories based on your life, and you're a little twist on them.
And then he says, I steal, which nullifies. He doesn't have a position on comedy. That means that what's those cover bands? Don't need to say they're cover bands.
Yeah, they could just say they're the band.
Well, fuck you.
I'm Journey.
I'm fucking Journey, nigga.
I'm REO Speedwagon. I'm fucking.
Well, how about you you have a different name, and you play all their songs and just say
and just say what I can't believe he did this.
It's my song.
Like he admitted it to it. It was a bad move. Can I apologize to everybody now?
Yes. Yes, Patrice.
Oh, the apology.
We need your apology.
What's this
I just want to apologize, man. I just, doing this pilot, Comedy Central pilot, I've never been at the level of my own vision coming to fruition, where I was at the top of the food chain.
Right.
And had to do things that I never had to do before. The word difficult. The word difficult in this business doesn't necessarily mean you have to be difficult. It's just anything that isn't pleasant is difficult. And I'd like to apologize to Chris Rock for thinking he was a dick by telling me that I was... I learned by being in charge of every process, the casting, dealing with production, and everything else, that any kind of asshole behavior, no matter what the degree, aloofness, you're a dick. If you're aloof, if you have quiet to your self-confidence, but it comes off like you're not pleasant, you're a dick.
And that's difficult.
And you can understand why someone would hire someone who is 60% good and 40% nice, as opposed to 95% good and 5% asshole.
Wow.
Really?
Absolutely.
Asshole carries a lot of weight.
Dude, a 5% asshole takes you out of your zone.
Damn.
No matter what, even if it's not really being an asshole, it is just the casting people that will walk in and just be this aloof. If you go, hey, how you doing? And it's just like, fuck you, I'm talented, watch this. You go, fuck you back.
So you're the guy. You're the go-to
I'm the guy looking at me.
Yeah.
A bunch of me's on any level is a strain to life.
Wow.
When it's your shit.
So you realize that maybe over the years you've had some
moments? It's too late for me to change. But I will say...
Oh, so you're going to continue
I will
being
never...
an asshole?
Here's what I won't do. Because even on the set of the fucking movie me and Norton was on, Furry Vengeance, I was an ass.
Really?
Just an asshole. But not how I thought. I thought just being in the cut, away from people, one-word answers, walk away, was just... It's fucking sucks.
This is the way a mother feels when her son quits doing drugs.
I can't. I'm lucky enough to be able to be an asshole. Being an asshole is what they needed on Tough Crowd. You know, I was difficult there too, but my difficulty was welcome.
Worked
for the show.
Yeah.
This one, I think my assholeness is welcome. You know what I mean? Like you said, it could be, tiring, whatever. But it is welcome.
Of course it is. Yeah.
I'm pleasant here. I'm happy to be here. But any place, what I've learned is this: I will not do anything that I'm not willing to be in my lane and be pleasant. I will not do, because to not want to do it, to be unpleasant and do it is even more of a fucking asshole. Like, I'll go, no, I don't want to do it, because if I can't control the fact that I think I'm funnier than everybody on the set, or I just sitting there going, this sucks, but I'm here, I'm not going to do it. You can't do it. I sat there watching casting people. I'm going to tell you, anybody who goes out to casting,
how was that?
Here's the rule. 1, try not to go in after 12.
Why is that?
Because motherfuckers are asleep after lunch.
Oh,
the people before lunch usually are going to get the
So they're not paying attention.
After lunch, it's like, you got to be spectacular. 2, be pleasant. Quiet confidence sucks. Hello, how are you? Good morning, thank you. Right? Which I've never done.
You've never done that?
Ever. I come
you
in.
just walk in and go like, let's get through this.
No, I come in going, eat my left ball. I'm better than all of you.
That's great.
And with that attitude, you have to be way better than being an asshole.
Right, you better.
You have to be 120% good.
Right.
Because you have to go over the top of the asshole thing.
Yeah.
Which I understand, because I wasn't being an asshole, so I thought when I was reading for Everybody Hates Chris.
But what happened?
I was being aloof, quiet guy who was good. And they go, ugh.
And they said no.
Because there was a kid who read for the show who was good for what we needed him. But we go, man, I'm not sure if this is, if we're going to be able to deal with this on 16-hour shoots.
Oh, shit.
I still gave him the part because I said, fuck that. I'm not going to do to people what has been done to me.
Oh, look at you.
After this thing, I go, fuck that. This nigga is tiring. 2, about trying to get a gig. 3, 1, try to get in before 12, before lunch. 2, be pleasant. 3, dress like the fucking character. If you come in to play a rich white guy, dress like a rich white guy.
Yeah.
Don't come in jeans and a T-shirt because you're not better than the fact of the guy that came in looking like Thurston Howell the third.
Really?
You know what I'm serious. You go, holy shit. You look like the guy, then you size him up from looking like the guy.
See, you would think that the acting would stand on its own and he could be wearing anything.
You go to be just as good of an actor who doesn't dress up as an asshole. So if you come in like a fireman, you go, wow, this guy looks like a fireman. Let's see if this fireman can act. That's what you're thinking. So that's the casting thing. So I come in dressed exactly like me. If I was going to read for fucking a doctor, I'd dress like this, like right now, with my fucking hat on, trying to go, nurse, hand me the scalpel. And it's like, this fat motherfucker. I don't believe in this guy.
I've done it. Going out as a lawyer in an Aussie shirt.
Like a douche.
A lawyer in an Aussie shirt. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Crazy Train.
Yeah.
What I learned is that if you're not willing to be the boss, if you're not willing to be the boss so it trickles down from you, don't go on anybody else's shit being, you stay in your fucking lane.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that I've been difficult. That's what I understand. And I can't go, well, I'll never be difficult. It's just, don't be difficult on someone else's shit.
Right.
Do not. So that's what I'm apologizing for, is being fucking an asshole. Fucking on everybody else's shit. And I understand what Chris Rock was meaning. Even though I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even do. But my attitude was enough.
This is epiphany shit for you.
Enough. That's why you can hire 60-40. He wasn't as good as this guy, but he was fucking pleasant.
It's going to be easy to work with, so over the
easy
long haul, it's going
to
be a lot
fucking
better. Yeah.
work with.
Deal with.
So that was it. That's it. I apologize to the people that I've been difficult working
Eat
with.
Eat my left ball. I'm better than all of you, huh?
I like that.
Yeah. You just walk in like
you're confident.
let me show you what I got. But no one gives a fuck. Mr. fucking good.
That's.
I'm sitting on Ferry Ventures going, this scene is beneath me.
And you were right. 2% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, shit.
It was a horror show, but I was there. That's the thing. Lee, I did the smart thing I did was stop fucking with The Office. I just was a bad energy. Everybody was happy. Good morning. I come in. No one wants to hear a guy who's 16th on the call sheet say, I don't want makeup. Breaks my skin out.
You take the makeup, right?
You take the makeup, you number 16 douche.
Fuck.
Wow, I thought you were only kidding.
Furry Vengeance got 2%?
Yes.
It should have.
Wow, there it is.
Not doing well.
2%.
It fucking should have.
Did you guys know it was bad when you were filming?
Dude, that guy Roger Cumble, I'm burning the bridge right now.
Then why don't you? Because now you're going to go against everything you just put out there. Look, he can't help himself in the end. He's still that fucking guy. What is it again? Eat my left ball and better than all of you. Go ahead.
I'm burning a bridge.
You can't.
Roger Cumble.
Wait, we can't allow you to do this. You just had this whole speech.
I want to hear.
Okay. Then
I so want to hear about Roger Cumble.
Right. I'm still. I want to mentor others to not do what I did.
Are you saying
it's not worth it?
It's too late for you?
I've burnt my bridge. I have right now. I got gasoline feet, and any bridge I got is toilet paper. When I was younger, I'd burn a bridge and go, I'll swim across this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll build a boat, nigga. No bridge can stop me. But
they do.
Now you get tired. But
what happened with this guy?
He just a visionless.
Ant wants to hear.
Google him. Just Google him.
Yeah.
Ant wants to hear.
Visionless.
Ant wants to hear.
And this is he just is gonna do. He's just not interested in goodness.
Really?
Yeah, it's just you go, let me direct this fucking movie and act. It's just one of those things. And he's a guy that look if I was a director, I'd be like, man, I'd like to deal with some angst people, because angst. Like everybody I know got some fucking angst. Colin is an ass. You're an, everybody's kind of weird who got some talent. But it's just like, you got to be like, yeah, the fucking dancing imaginary squirrels and the skunk scenes. All right, Patrice, this is what I want you to do. I want you to skunk, and there's a skunk, and he comes out coughing, and and Brendan, we all got along and shit. He's just a professional doing the movie, but it's just like, Roger, it's just, and at the end we all got to do a dance and shit. I hope it's not in. I'm gonna try to sue to get my shit out of that movie.
Do you do the dance, Jimmy?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
You've never seen the video?
And I was doing the dance with the scowl on my face, not happy to be there, guy. I'm disappointed in show business. It's just anything that you get into the business and you go, I'm a funny guy. I like funny. Yeah. Boy, show business is here for a piece of shit like me who can make a buck. Making people laugh because I'm a funny dude. I get into it, and in the 18th year, I just realized one thing you don't need in this business is integrity. You're a fucking idiot if you have some type of a core value system. It's useless.
You know something?
It just makes you stupid to fucking do that. There's no karma. There's no justice. The devil runs show business, and I got in it. It's like Serpico. It's like if you grow up as a kid, this business. If you grow up as a kid, and your thing is, I'm gonna make sure that no one gets bullied. I'm gonna make sure no one gets fucked over. I'm gonna make sure jocks don't push around other kids, and I'm gonna be a natural cop. Then you grow up and you go, you know what? Transition will be that. Then you go find out that actually saving kittens out of a tree. All your other cop friends will say you're a fucking idiot if you go and do things that you think cops are supposed to fucking do.
Yeah.
Same thing with this business. You just go, hey, man, you funny. You fucking do things. You laugh. Make people laugh. And it's all good, right? Fucks no, nigga. It drives you crazy. When Bobby comes in here, we talk. Yeah. At the end of the day, me and Bobby, he is probably my closest comedic friend. There's two different kinds. There's your friends and then there's your comedic friends. Bobby is close to being like in the real friend category. And we talk, but now we have these talks where I'm like, yeah, this fucking business. And Bob has transitioned into, I don't do the dude thing, but Bobby has transitioned into everything is wonderful. Look at the bright side, guy. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, look at the positive side, dude.
And
we out here doing it. It happens when you are trying to be you in this business and they rape you. I'm looking at Gilbert Arenas, and it hit me yesterday. The only unforgivable crime in this country is if you make white people upset. Gilbert Arenas, the gun didn't bother people. It's not the gun. It's his non-contrite attitude.
That was true.
And they must make niggas pay for your non-contriteness.
Patrice, that happens to white guys too, though. It really does.
When I say niggas, I mean everybody. Like, make a nigga pay.
Yeah, if you're not contrite, no matter what color you are, yes, they don't appreciate that.
I meant niggas. I should have said because men.
That goes across the board. Absolutely.
Let me give you an example of something. Arenas, the gun thing, whatever. It was happening. They were looking into it, whatever. But he got suspended and fined for not being contrite. You're absolutely right.
As I'm sitting home for the month and a half, next week I work again in Tampa, and I just came to the realization that I wasted 18 years. I just wasted 18 years of having some type of like issues with like how I conduct myself. You know what I mean?
Really?
I try to conduct myself with respect, and it's dumb.
You don't see it as a growing process?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
It's fucking
maturing,
dumb.
You're maturing.
Dude,
you went from like the guy you were, because I look back at the guy I was, let's say, that many years ago, whatever. Okay. It ain't the same guy I am now. I mean, I laugh at the same shit. I'm the same guy, but there are certain aspects of my life that I had to like just kind of, and maturing sometimes is getting immature. That's like you could mature by getting more immature. You know what I mean? It's not I don't think you wasted your time. That's for sure.
I just feel like I did. I feel like a lot of people in this business are acute. There's a lot of prosperous people who no one respects, no one likes as a human being. Everybody thinks is a douche, but they just are prosperous.
Yeah.
And their families
well.
are prosperous.
But maybe
they're
just
miserable. Pieces of dog shit.
Maybe they're miserable.
Couldn't be more miserable than me.
All right. No, I understand that. I'm just saying the grass is always greener kind of shit.
I hate the fact that I have to look at somebody, Comic Buddy right now is this dude, he's diabetic too. And he's about the same age. He's going blind, and I hear he got cancer and all kind of shit. Jesus. So I have to look at him at the age he is, close to mine, and his situation, and go, well, I could be
there, but for the grace of God,
I have to look at his horror to feel better about I just basically, for real, I don't need a lot of money. I basically am getting sick of, this sounds like a fucking crazy rant, I'm getting sick of bitches having opinions, and that's all I get to see is fat black bitches, old white bitches, dykes.
All over your TV.
I'm watching Tyler Perry. His biggest character is Medea.
Yeah, Medea.
And I'm like, wow, you know what? To be a fucking man, you have to dress as a bitch and act sassy,
right?
To be able to be a sassy motherfucker.
Sassy fucking, I'm going to show you kind of thing. He's got to dress like a bitch.
I just want to do all this.
You're never going to dress like a bitch.
I've dressed like a bitch before.
When did you dress like a bitch?
In a movie called In the Cut. They had me dressed as a transsexual pimp doorman.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Is this clip online?
It probably is.
This clip
and
I saw that.
I don't remember.
And it was done. It was the lady that did the piano. So, what's her name that did the piano? The director.
Oh shit! Huh?
Anyway, she's one of those directors. She was like the Daniel Day-Lewis of directors. She would direct something every 16 years and they'd get an Oscar. Yeah. So I went in and read for this part. I go, fucking my career. Bye-ho! I'm playing a faggot. This is it. Retards or a fucking transsexual doorman, nigga? I'm in. With Meg Ryan and Mark Ruffalo?
You're in.
Where do I sign up, right?
Right. So I'm just sitting there and I look at that and go, I'm just a big faggot for no reason because I tried to do the tap dance to get something that I really don't know what I want. But now I know what I want, and I really don't need a lot of money from what I want. I really just want to sit down and have an opinion about anything. For what I want out of life, and I know this seems like bullshit, but I just want, I'm the only one in my life of people unless somebody hits a lottery, I'm the only one for about 7 or 8 people that could help elevate life because I'm in show business and I've been in it 18 years. My mother works and she's going to work till she dies unless I make it. One of my good friends, he works and he's going to work till he dies. My girl, she has a show business like heart, but her kid, a couple of comics that are good friends of mine. It's like, if it ain't me, dude, it ain't gonna be nobody. I just want that. I just want it for them. I always thought to myself, like, I could change now. I could go, okay, well, I'm gonna take it in the ass like they say you're supposed to in show business. I'm going to take it in the fucking ass.
Do whatever's necessary.
Yeah. And if I take it in my ass now at 40 and realize that it wasn't, it's like, this ain't so bad. I'm taking it in my ass. I got a $2 million check. My mother got a house. And my ass it ain't even that. It's just right in my ass. It's not even hurting. That I'm going to be even more miserable because I should have been I didn't have enough sense or a mentor to say, take it in your ass at 20.
Right.
So I'm going to go, if I'm wrong now, I can't live with myself. I got to ride this out. I got to ride this out. I got to ride it out. And I don't know if it's going to pan out. And I really would love for it to pan out, but it might not. And it made me sad because my mother, she's diabetic and I'm diabetic. Okay. And I cut my foot. And I think this got me emotional too. I cut my foot. You know, you cut your foot as a diabetic. It's dangerous. I cut my foot, you know. The ravages of diabetes haven't started truly hitting me hardcore. Starting to hit my mom's, you know, feet looking bad, and you know, she's limping. She's breaking down. Watching her break down. And I cut my foot, man, and she jumped on. She just was mom. She cared about my fucking feet, and I'm looking at her feet, you know, swelled up, and she just was making sure my feet were okay. And I'm just like, what for? Like I suck. I'm like, I suck. I go, my mother's still looking after my feet. And I'm like, I'm just want to look after her feet. But I would never motherly be able to look after her feet. I can only financially look after her feet. Get her the best foot doctor. Money's no object medicine.
Yeah.
Great bed.
Yeah.
Whatever techniques are out there.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to do to look after her, but I don't have it like that.
Yeah.
And this is the only way I'm going to get it. And it's just too late for me to I'm realizing shit too late.
Yeah.
That I'm driving, you know, back from you know, Montreal, and I'm going, what? Did I just realize that I didn't have a father? Did I just realize that?
Just now, yeah.
What the fuck is that good for? Are you fucking serious? What a waste of time.
But that's not true. You know, it's interesting just from you talking to me, and I always knew this about you, is that, you know, you're going to parent yourself one way or the other. That if your parents were inattentive, or they were shitty, or they weren't there, or they were absent, you were going to figure out a way to take care of yourself, and you did. And that is what the gift of your brain is that all this shit, the way you talk about your life and how you make sense of shit, you talk like a father. You talk like a guy that's like, this is the analogy, this is the story, that this makes sense.
But it's made me very, logical. And it made me very, like, pain.
Yeah.
Emotional pain. Mark, this is where we are stripping down the animal part as opposed to stripping down the psychological part. Because remember, dude, I've already stripped myself down. You strip yourself down because you do too much thinking. So meaning you look at yourself, and if I go, you're a this and a that, Mark, you go, was that supposed to hurt me? Because I already discussed that with myself. I am a this and a that. What are you going to do?
It's still going to hurt me.
It'll hurt, but you'll go, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't want it affirmed.
Okay.
But it's going to, you're self-aware. There's a lot of people aren't self-aware.
Yeah.
They're sociopaths. You know, I'm telling you, I wish I could take it in the ass. I tried to take it in the ass in 98. And I realized taking it in the ass hurt my heart.
Yeah.
I wish I can steal jokes and buy my mother a house based on the fact that I stole not only jokes. It's not like you stole knock jokes. You stole essence. You took it and you there's no justice. There's nothing in this game of virtue. And I've only heard one story ever of virtue that paid off was Chaz Parmentary, where people were interested in Bronx Tale. They wanted to do Bronstead, but he said, I want to play the role he played. He played
the gangster.
Yeah, the gangster. I forgot his name, but in the movie. But he goes, I have to play this. And people go like, I'll buy this script for $100,000. He's like, can I play the? Nope. $500,000. I bought it. I just want to play the. And he went into the bathroom. He said, man, it's just maybe I should do it. And he stuck to his guns. And De Niro, he goes, I just want to play the game. De Niro goes, play him. I'm going to play the bus driver. I just want to see this movie made. And it panned out. But it's like, is that like the lottery? Meaning he hit the righteous lottery and everybody else is trying to scratch the righteous lottery ticket. And
a little bit of luck, right?
You know, and I'm like, you know, I just want to, I don't want to be wrong forever. I just want to, you know, look, I think in this business you only got about 4 or 5 times to get on the amusement ride. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I've been on the ride twice.
Yeah, maybe.
And
me too.
And when you get off the ride, you got to get back in line and go, if I want to ride this ride again, I got to stand in line, this long line. And the thing about the roller coaster is it's interesting. It clicks up. The click up is just great. Like, you're like, I feel it. Click up.
Yeah.
I feel it.
People are excited.
Yeah, they see me. They see I'm clicking up. They see I'm on the come up. They feeling good. It's feeling right. And then when you don't, the first time you're on the ride, you go, okay, what do I do? Then you go, wee, and you hold your hands up, and then all of the money flies out your pocket, and then everything's gone. When you get off, you go in the ride, and then it does that last little stoppage thing, and you go, everybody off, and you go, oh shit, and then there's a long line to get back on, and then you're in the back of the line going, this fucking ride ain't even that great, and you're like, that was it? Am I standing in line? And then you go, okay, my second time I'm going to get in line again. I'm going to make this ride better for myself. Click, 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 click. Okay. And then, you know, now you got a pilot deal and it clicks up and you go, at the top and you go, this time I'm going to put my hands in my pocket and I'm not going to enjoy the ride as much. You go down and you're not going to wee. It's just air
holding on to your money.
Hold on to your money. Then you stop again and it's just like you got a little more money, but you didn't have any fun. Now you're in line again, waiting, and you're behind a fucking cocksucker. You know
who's doing your act?
You go, can I get in front of you? You fucking cocksucker. And then I don't know if I get on the ride again, dude. I'm probably not gonna get back on, but I'm waiting.
All right. Well, let's see if we both get on the ride. Thanks for talking to me, Patrice.
All right, man.
I was unbookable and without options. That's a great talk. Let me try to recapture that for you. My manager. Nobody wants to work with you. I can't get you an agent. I can't get you any road work. I can't get you anything. Me. Okay. So what do we do? My manager. Are you looking at my hair? Why are you looking at my hair? Does it look bad? Me. No, it's fine. What should we do? My manager. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, stop looking at my hair. Am I fat? Tell me, am I fat? Seriously, am I? That was the conversation. Paraphrasing, but that was the conversation. My first thought after that meeting was, I'm going to kill myself. My second thought was, I could get a regular job. My third thought was, I need a new manager. I think I had the order wrong. I'm not taking shots here. Let Andy do that. I'm incapable of that. I'll discuss that in a minute. I drove home defeated. All right, 25 years in, I had nothing. I was sitting in a garage in a house I was about to lose because of that bitch. But let's not get into that now. And then I had this weird realization, and I said this out loud to myself. You can build a clown, and they might not come. I was thinking, it's over. It's fucking over. Then I thought, you have no kids, you have no wife, you have no career, certainly no plan B. Why not kill yourself? I thought about suicide a lot. Now, don't get depressed. I have thought about suicide a lot in my life, but it's not because I want to kill myself. I just find it relaxing. To know that I can if I have to. I don't know. person you are, but you never had that moment where you're just sitting alone and you're like, what? Why the fuck does my life have to... Hey. I can always kill myself. Back to work. It's the spiritual reprieve of the faithless. I'll let the people that got that take it in. It's a little deeper than that. All right. Well, then I thought, maybe I get a regular job. That's fucking horrendous. Even though my last regular job was in a restaurant 25 years ago, I said to myself, I swear to you, I said, I still got it. It's like riding a bike. Just get me a spatula, I'll flip some eggs, some burgers or something. Then I thought, what are you, fucking crazy? You think they're going to hire a 47-year-old man whose last restaurant job was a part-time short order cook in 1987? How are you going to explain the lost years? Are you going to show the bar manager your Conan reel? You know? You're a fucking idiot. So I was broke, I was defeated, I was careerless, and I started doing this podcast in that very garage where I was planning my own demise. And, I'm not going to try not to get choked up with this because this thing has been an emotional thing for me. I started talking about myself on the mic with no one telling me what I could do or what I could say. I started reaching out to comics immediately. I needed help. I needed personal help, professional help. I needed to talk to people. So I reached out to my peers and I talked to them, and I started feeling better about life, comedy, creativity, community. I was lost. And then I started to understand who I was by talking to other comics and then sharing it with everybody else. I started to laugh at things again. I was excited to be alive. Holy fuck. Doing the podcast and listening to comics literally saved my life. And I realized that is what comedy can do for people. And you know what the industry had to do with that? Nothing! Nothing! When I played an early episode from my now former manager in his office thinking that I'd turned a career corner, and we finally had something, he listened to about 3 minutes of it and said, I don't get it. But, I don't blame him, okay? Why would he get it? It wasn't on his radar. It wasn't in his wheelhouse. There's no package deal. There's no episode commitment. No theaters to sell out. He had no idea what or how to extract money from it. And I did it from my fucking garage. Perfect. It took me 25 years to do the best thing I'd ever done, and there was no clear way to monetize it. I was winning. And then my manager said, no, they want you. So I asked, why me? Why ask why me is the question. This was obviously a good thing. I got the gig, but I'm the kind of person who needs to deconstruct even a good thing so I can understand what is expected of me and who is expecting it. You would think, well, Mark, they just want you to be funny. That isn't good enough. In my mind, I needed to know what the angle was. Did no one else want to do this? Did someone drop out? Be honest. Who said no already? Did Chelsea Handler say no? Be honest. Who said no? Am I cheap? Why? I've been doing comedy for 25 years. I've been invited to this festival maybe twice before this, which is weird considering how many new faces I've tried on over the last 25 years. To the festival's credit, they did have me on the Sad Old Faces show about 6 years ago. And I appreciate that. But let's be honest, all right? I have not made anyone in this room any real money. I'm currently working out of my fucking garage. I'm in constant battle with resentment against many of the people in this room. So again, why me? So you see what happened right there? Within minutes of the opportunity to give this speech became, this is a setup, they're fucking me. What kind of bullshit is this? That is exactly the kind of thinking that has kept me out of the big time for my entire career. All right, I'm going to try to address both sides here, okay? The industry and the comics, it's not really an us against them situation, but to me it feels like it is sometimes. As I said, I've been doing comedy for 25 years. I've put more than half of my life into building my clown. That's how I see it. I think that comics keep getting up on stage, and in time, the part of them that lives and thrives up there is their clown. My clown was fueled by jealousy and spite for most of my career. I'll share this with you. I'm the clown who recently read The War for Late Night and thought it was basically about me not being in show business. I'm the clown that thought that most of Jon Stewart's success was based on his commitment to a haircut. I'm the clown that thought Louis C.K.'s show Louis should be called Fuck You, Mark Maron. 3 years ago, my clown was broke on many levels, and according to my former manager, my manager at the time. But I guess I'm ahead of the game. I don't know. I don't really look at it that way. I don't really pay attention to this. It's just, you know. All right, so back to the offer of the speech. I thought, like, wait, all right, that's the reason they want me to do the speech. I do a podcast out of my garage that has had over 20 million downloads in less than 2 years. It's critically acclaimed. I've interviewed over 200 comics. I've created live shows. I'm writing a book. I have a loyal, borderline obsessive fan base who bring me baked goods and artwork. I've evolved as a person, as a performer. I'm at the top of my game, and no one can tell me what to do. I built it myself. I work for myself. I have full creative freedom. I am the future of show business. Not your show business, my show business. They want me to do this speech because I'm the future of our industry. That's what I thought. Like, I really thought that. Then my new manager got back to me and said, no, they like the jokes he did when he introduced Kindler a couple years ago. That's why they asked you. So this moment of, like, where I was an emperor in my garage for about 6 minutes. So then I thought, fuck, it was the jokes about them, you know, you guys, the industry, that got them interested. Well, that's fucking ridiculous. That was like 2 jokes. I'm not good at insult comedy. Anytime I do roast jokes, I go too far, I cut too deep, it gets too real, always gets me in trouble. Always. I think the president of Comedy Central, Doug Herzog, is still mad at me, actually. I'd like to take this opportunity publicly to apologize again to Doug. Years ago, when Doug Herzog and Eileen Katz first moved to Comedy Central from MTV and began retooling it, I performed at a Comedy Central party at the old Catch a Rising Star. I remember the joke I did. I remember. I said, quote, I'm glad Doug and Eileen moved from MTV to Comedy Central because I think that all television should look like a 24-hour round-the-clock pie-eating contest. Unquote. I don't know if it was the venom I said it with or what, but 2 days later I was in Eileen Katz's office with my old manager who was having a great hair day. Apologizing for that joke. So I'm not the guy to make you industry people laugh at yourselves. Kindler will do that in a couple of days. But if I could, in the spirit of making an amends, I'd like to apologize to Doug Herzog. I'm very happy you're all here, and I did write some things down, and I think I'll read them. I'll read as long as I can without feeling like you're no longer paying attention to me, and then I will check in a panically, slightly insecure way. Welcome to the Montreal Comedy Festival, and fuck you. Some of you know who you are. Wait, sorry, that was the old me. I'd like to apologize for being a dick just then. See, that's progress. The amount of time between action and apology was seconds. I'm excited to be here, and I'm now going to proceed to make this speech all about me, and we'll see where that takes us. So, I don't know if you know me. I know a lot of you have. Whenever I come to this thing, I feel like I've grown up with some of you people. I feel like some of you are my parents. I know that this is a community of comics. I'm usually wandering around wondering why the festival is not the Montreal Just for Mark Festival. But I guess for 25 minutes we can make it that way. Things are going pretty well for me, and I don't know what kind of person you are, but I'm the kind of person when things are going well for me, there's a little voice inside of my head saying, you're going to fuck it up. You're going to fuck it up, Mark. And I really just wish that voice were louder than the voice screaming, let's fuck it up! Come on, you pussy, fuck it up. What happened to you, pussy? Used to have balls and edge. Look at you doing a speech, you pussy. Fuck it up. Ruin your career. Burn some bridges. Remember that? What happened to your edge? Break up with your girlfriend. Start drinking again. This is a good weekend for that. Do that. Come on. Fuck it up. So that's happening right now. And I wish that were a fucking joke. I was up all night fighting with my brain to not fuck this up. My poor girlfriend, who, we've been together a little while, but it was a real test to our relationship. I don't know if you've ever been in that zone where you're so panicky and angry that you can't sleep, but you know part of you doesn't want to sleep, because then if you don't sleep and you fuck it up, you can be like, well, I didn't sleep. It was fucked up. And she was sitting there going, do you want me to hug you? I'm like, no, yes, okay. Can I build a pillow fort? So that's where I'm at. I'm a comedian. Okay, here we go. When they asked me to give this speech months ago, the first thing I said to my manager was, what? They can't find anyone else? With this much time? Really? That's fucking ridiculous.